the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Boakai presents him as a poor man from Lofa and assert that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Boakai is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
First of all, there's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Kobe is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in the war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Jamaku, young man, vice president, young man that vice president, the major so 500,000. I mean, Jamaku, the major went to I forget that Jamaku, the major went to Ghana the fit and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun can reach yourself. Kun man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet. Hardcore rule in Labro, but Labro when 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There won Alphas, all men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I'll put school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I will renovate it. I told them, towns and villages, everywhere you will have lights in a town for children to play and people to see. I told them, every town will have safe drinking water.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The government that capital road, small road, B road, all kind of. I think the reason Joseph Boakai will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Your league Costa, God knows how to pay people. It's just simple. Costa that accused everybody here but himself. Everybody, we join, we kill Joe, he killed Joseph Boakai. Boakai still living. Joe, no, you leave better. He made me senator. He almost made Joseph Boakai president until he screwed up. We gave God the glory. Yeah. Well, Boakai, when he screwed, he said, oh, we don't want to make sure we will fought for him to be reconciled with the president. And then the people who fought for him. Look, yearly Costa, you will come. And Costa was in a podcast, he said, they don't been calling me. Okay. The time you were calling me for me to carry the President Boakai, did I put it on radio? That immaturity to do what he talking about.
And I
No, son,
guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Foke-Klon Jirale Gbapugbe Tape Malewia, the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He
bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you, yeah.
We elected 85 irresponsible men that what happened to our country. We elected 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
France, the team I picked to win it all, was beaten, destroyed by Spain as though they have never played soccer before. So I'm feeling funny. France did not show up. They chose the wrong time to play the worst game. So hopefully I am right on this one when I said the winner of the France-Spain game will be the world champions. That's my last hope. Spain was very clinical. They controlled the pace of the game. They controlled the game. They made France to chase the game from the beginning to the very end. At one point, it was 8 shots on goal to 0 for France. Imagine. It's like when we are coaching, we tell the kids, it doesn't matter how good you are, if you don't show up for practice and you don't show up for a game, you make no difference in the game, you don't help your team. And we say the same thing about whether it is soccer or basketball, a shooter must shoot. You cannot dribble the time out. And that's what France did today. It looks like there were no strikers. Can you imagine 8 shots on goal to 0 in the first half? If you don't shoot on goal, how do you stand a chance on scoring? That is France's dilemma. They lost to Spain twice. And most likely, Spain may just be World Cup champion back-to-back. From what I saw today, unless something changes, they will be the world champions again. Remember, they are also Europe's champions. They were clinical, they were superb. So if my last prediction is right, my last button on Joe's coat, in Liberia we say, is that the winner of the France-Spain game will win the World Cup. So if Spain wins, then I'm a winner, even though they were not my choice. But I said it. The winner of the Spain-France game will be world champions. As I'm licking my chops, as I'm licking my wounds, as I'm crying inside. In Africa and tradition, they say, men don't cry, men don't cry. But in the West, they say, it's emotional, you can't cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. So I'm crying. France, you let me down. I'm crying, France, the last African team. You let me down. It looks like you didn't show up at all. From the beginning to the end, Spain played a clinical game. This is what they call football play in the lab. They were clinical. They were great. Their passes were crisp. They were always on the run. They were intercepting the passes. You know, Mbappe liked for the ball to go through. They were intercept every time. In the first half, I have never seen a professional team at that level where shot on goal was 0-8. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am your boy from Grand Bassa County, Jerome Gibbon. I am finished crying, you know, I wear my tears. Let me welcome my co-hosts, my colleagues. Honorable Pee Wee, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gibbon. I'm down. Also, I thought France. I tried to honor Didier Deschamps going to win this World Cup after being with the team for 12 years as a coach, as the manager of the team. Quite unfortunate day for him, and also a very successful player of the team. He was part of the winning team of '98 when they won the World Cup. Didier Deschamps, we thought he would have won it as a coach. He would have been the first person to do that, both coach and the player. Unfortunately, the road just came to talking about a broke end.
But excuse me, Mbappe won this in 2018. He wasn't a coach. Mbappe, France won 2018.
2018,
France won it. And then 2022, they lost to Spain.
Yeah, I think Didier Deschamps with the 2018 France won it, right?
Yes.
If France won it 2018. Yeah, then I think, then I mean he won it as coach. Then
yes,
he won it both as player and coach. Okay, it was going to be his second time winning there as coach. Because he's been with the team 12 years.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Didier Deschamps, but this is going to be his last day as manager of the French team. He's going to be stepping down as the manager of the French team. I think it's going to be given to another person will take over from this. But this is a very powerful team. Sometimes that's the essence of football, you know. Mm-hmm. I can feel. I saw one of little black Pekin openly crying on the field. I think on the lap with his father and other things. You know how the kids are into the game and the rest of that. I can feel how millions of children and young people, old people in France, how they are now. So this is it's painful actually. Where you expect the team and they came out the number 1 favorite for this World Cup.
Of course, from day one.
Yeah, and Spain is considered the second favorite, if you will, but now they're not take over. Now I think they're gonna do this. I hope and see what's gonna happen. But I'm afraid that the way the Spanish team played today, I think they are the most. I can put my money on the line for them now. Again, that's football.
There you go.
Messi and Argentina may they come and do the damage, or England come and do the damage. So that wait and see what's going to happen tomorrow afternoon, and then I will know who actually is going to get the World Cup. But I think Spain, they play a very good football today and
clinical. Man, I never seen the gameplay like in the lab. It was so clinical.
Mm-hmm. They play a very wonderful game. And this young kid, Lamine Yamal, he's somewhat something to see moving forward. He's an extraordinary football player. And someone was saying the last night you can pair him with, I think it was our former president with Mbappe and other things. But there's two things you look at from the time. Lamine Yamal at the age of 18 years old, big teams started relying on him to win trophy. So that's the difference there. The age 18, Barcelona relying on him to start winning trophy with Barcelona. Age 18, he came up to the World Cup as the star player for Spain. So he's not. So I would take my perspective on that. I would follow one of the world's best commentators. That's what he said. He said he believes the case is extraordinary. Age 18, other people 18 will still be struggling to find their son. But 18, he's been relied on not to be the man to move forward. He set the team and triggered them. He set all this kind of lines. Tactically, he's good. He had the endurance and all those things, and he understand. So he's going to be something to see. He got a contract. He's the full year to 30-31, almost that about with Barcelona now. And if Barcelona want to cut that contract, or they got to give him $1 billion, I don't know what have to give him. He's going to be like making around $30 million a year moving forward and other things. So he's something to see. He's and he beat fan and he live, bro.
Yeah, but that's how it is sometimes. That we say in Liberia, they say like a biscuit, right? You never know where it's ever going to break. Let me go to Junkies. Junkies, I don't want to hear nothing from you today because I'm upset. And all the Messi fans, the fake Messi, the floppy Messi, tomorrow we will see whether he will be floppy. But welcome to the show, my friend.
Good day to you in the diaspora.
No good day. Just say hello.
Okay, hello, Aji, Jerome, Bagime.
That's right.
And hello to you, Joseph K. Sally, and to you, Mr. Sylvester P. Mr. Gamer, honestly, I was anticipating an Argentina-France final. But unfortunately, it went the way it went a few minutes ago.
So 50% of your bet gone.
Because
but Jenkins,
yes.
Jenkins, let me say this to you. What I want you to do now, I want you to go that anticipation, reduce even Argentina going to a final, reduce it by the next one
because Argentina is not even.
Argentina to go to a final. Trust me.
Sure. This is what I'm also sensing.
Yeah.
This is what I'm also sensing. Spain played exceptionally tonight. To be honest, Spain had won France on a lot of occasions. But on this tonight game, Spain was very much proficient. Honestly, Spain played well. And that young man, Lamine Yamal, in my mind, he's a promising star.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's poised to one day coming up as the world best player. He's a promising star. He's a good kid. He has the endurance. He has the strength. His physique does not negate the fact that he's dependable for the entire Spain team. He is very much powerful in his moves. He takes the ball to his opponents, which is very much laudable for any forward. He does not really come back with the ball. He always take them on. He's a good star coming up. And what really dealt with France tonight was the center. France did not have any clue as it relates the center. The center was seized from start to end. So what you saw was a one-sided casualty.
Yeah.
France lost the center from start to end, and because of that, there was no way that France could easily come back. because in a game, the one who holds the ball has much more endurance because he's reserving his strength and his moves. But you that are looking for the ball, as you move to Jerome Goodman, you're chasing the ball, so you are losing. Yes, you are losing energy. You as you go to Jerome Goodman for the ball, and he passes it on to Junkies Morris, you will have to turn around to come to Junkies Morris. All of that, you're losing energy. But Junkies Morris is standing one place, he just track the ball and pass another person. And that person he's passing will just hold it and pass another person. So they are not running around. But you that are looking for the ball, you losing energy. So they in fact, if that game could go for extra 10 minutes, they would have scored extra 3 to 4 goals. Yeah, honestly, because they already stole the game from France by seizing the center, and it was great. Hope they will carry that to the final, because I am anticipating England going to the final.
Okay. JK Sally, welcome. You don't look happy also. What's going on? Welcome to the show. I've not seen you for a while.
Yeah, I'm good, Mr. Gilman. Mr. Pee-wee, I miss it. Thank you, Morris. Thank you so much for the job you continue to do. Even though I was supporting France, but I never wanted for Dembele to win 3 world best. Yeah, because PSG won Arsenal in in the Champions League. So so I never wanted him, just to win the world best like that. Even though I will still put my weight behind Argentina, because we all will go for the biggest GOAT, Lionel Messi.
Excuse me?
I think the world best man could likely go to.
When you say who?
I said I will throw my weight behind Argentina, for the biggest GOAT, Lionel Messi.
What kind of GOAT is that? He ain't got no. I won't say he ain't got nothing, but I'm good. Listen, your GOAT is
the biggest GOAT, Lionel Messi.
They go ain't got no balls. But listen, they go flaps and laugh. Everybody know all the memes, all the video about the World Cup is about how Messi keep flopping, flip-flopping. He flops every time. And this time now the referee keeping an eye on him. How can you just be walking before that and you wanted to blow the whistle? But anyway, now still that we're on football, let's go directly to Liberia. We got the news that the Lone Star team, majority of the Lone Star team has been denied visa to the United States. Hence, they have canceled the Lone Star versus Minnesota game. Honorable Pee-wee, one of the things that we want to get away from politics, but you still can't get away from politics. One of the things that this administration came into being was that said Joseph Boakai has experience. He has elevated Liberia's stature on the international stage. We are respectable again. People listen to us. We have regained our status on the international stage. And just recently, we were given honorary, leadership on the Security Council. Everything we said, we have arrived with this and that. Then all of a sudden, reality checks in. Now, listen, don't be so fast. And for the entire team, almost entire team, because from what I'm reading here, 15 players' name was submitted. I think 4 plus 1 staff. So it doesn't look good, Honorable Pee-wee.
Yes, first and foremost, that's what I'm trying to get, because I'm receiving some of these informations. I'm being a little engaged and busy today, so I didn't have the time to really lock into most of those, I call it chat room that I'm in. But I'm receiving some information. I'll try to play some calls, and I'll still trying to get to Minister Harry Youngton to some people from the UN Sport Ministry to get some basic information from them relative to this. I don't think that news is yet verified, and we needed to communicate with the Youth and Sport Ministry and that of the FA so that we can get. So I'm trying to confirm from that angle if it's actually true. How many Liberian football player, the Lone Station national team football player name was sent, local players' name was sent to the embassy, and that how many international professional players' name were also sent, and but that who all got denied the entry to the United States. So there are some speculations that yet to be confirmed, and I'm told that most of the local players that look unconfirmed yet, most of the local players didn't get entry visa. So I think in that way. But the good news is also from the angle, and that's part of the reason why I'm very curious about to confirm this information first and foremost. So if the game is still going to be as planned, stay on schedule, and how many professional players we already have in town. If those that are going to lead a trip, are they enough to take on the Minnesota United? So we ought to do some basic verification. I'm working behind quickly to see if it's possible to get some of those information as to if the game is going to go on, and how many of our local players or even international players got denied. If it is true that they, even though there was one report that I read briefly on social media this morning on Facebook that indicated, and it's unconfirmed, that the entire team got denied a visa. And I knew that report somehow was factually inaccurate, so we needed to get the facts around it. But there's some speculations, and I would have thought that the Ministry of Youth and Sport would have now by this time come out and give a definitive statement. But we have Sidi here. I thought, Sidi, you guys, what did you guys hear on the ground today in the country? Was there any effort made to reach the FA or certain authority within the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the Deputy Minister for Sport Development and the rest of that, to ascertain some of these facts coming out of some social media blogs, if you will?
Yeah, so today, while the press conference was ongoing at the Ministry of Information, you had the acting minister, Yonton, was there, and it was a time news pop up, and I personally asked him the question, and one thing he said that he cannot verify it now because the information has not reached out to him. But we have a few of our colleagues who report around sports, especially from the level of the FA. And yes, some of them, they were saying, because from the initial point, from the whole
This your internet thing in Liberia. Jesus Christ. Let me go to Junkies. Junkies, what Saleh is frozen. We are getting the news about almost, not all, but almost all the players were denied, with the exception of 4 and 1 staff. What are you guys hearing on the ground? I know you got your ears on the ground. What's happening?
Basically, that information, in my mind, it will be prudent. The LFA comes up with a statement that will lay to rest this doubt that many Liberians have with regards to who was denied, who was allowed access into the U.S. As Liberia will be meeting Minnesota United FC. So the FA is the institution responsible to provide the necessary information our people need to know when it comes to our national team. So I think they are not doing well. They believe in this lip service dissemination of information. And I think it's not good, because the public is the people we are serving. So if you in a public position and don't pass on information to the people, they are not aware, then with that, doubt, gossip, and misinformation continue to trend. So I think it is onus on the 11 now to come out and see who are those that were allowed access and who are those that were denied. In fact, information I'm getting, it is alleged that the number of persons listed as officials on that trip should not be, is too exorbitant. That's the first thing. And some individuals who are not have that opportunity to secure the U.S. visa is trying to use this as a conduit by which they can obtain a visa and enter the U.S. Why at the same time information is also coming up that the U.S. government is concerned, the State Department is concerned with this issue of Liberians in particular going to the U.S. on visitation and programs and not living according to the terms on which they went to the U.S., escaping, running away from camp. If you go to Mr. Jerome Gateman for visit, when you're supposed to spend 2 or 3 months in that period of time, you Chile and Mr. Jerome Gateman can see you again. All those SSs, the U.S. government is trying to look into them. So I'm getting information that is one of the factors. I will see some of our local base players who have now have access to U.S. visa being denied. But on the overall, those to be denied are mainly officials who are just being listed so that they use this medium to have a U.S. Visa in their passport. So those are the competing arguments on the ground. And I think the elevator now would need to come and clear the air.
Okay. Joe, welcome back. The thing is that you were at the Ministry of Information today. If the information was false, the leadership would have come out and said the information out there is a lie, is totally false. But he gave a disclaimer, say, they don't have full information. They have to go and gather more information. That tells you, because the game is next week. Today is the 14th. July 26th is in 12 days. So there's no way you're going to come on the same day of the game. So they should be here by next week. So they should come out and come clean.
Yeah, Mr. Gateman, why I was on the show, I just received a call from one of Liberia renowned sport journalists, Thomas Kojo. And right now, within the Elevate chat rooms, these things has been discussed. Like Brother Morris was saying, it was the same thing Kojo told me, that the listing that they presented to the embassy, and you had a lot of people who some people have not even traveled before. Yeah, people have not traveled before, and there was a communication sent to the Ministry of Youth and Sport before the entire visa issue even raised up. There was a communication from the embassy that was sent to the Ministry of Youth and Sport, but there were also on-ground talks between the government of Liberia and that of the embassy. But so let's see from now to this weekend, hopefully next week, let's see what will happen. Whether the embassy will reconsider their decision, to select few people, or maybe they will maintain the same listing that was sent. Let's see from now to the weekend, or maybe next week. Hopefully next week, what will happen?
Well, Honorable Pee-wee, the World Cup, as big as the World Cup is, some major countries, their players and they were denied visa. So what makes people think that the United States at this particular time cannot do this?
And I was just having discussion with someone behind the same thing we're just discussing just now. Now, and you just actually paid what I was going to say, and that's just the point. This is an international obligation from even the host country of World Cup to give visa, right, to participating countries, the team and that of the fans. But again, it is clear, abundantly clear, to get a U.S. visa is a privilege. It's not a right. Even the fight, and FIFA even have to re-amplify that in recent days when the situation of one of someone was denied visa and FIFA, okay, they issued in the referee situation here. The Somali referee and that of the Ghanaian striker, that the player that got a problem in England, was denied the entry into Canada because it's a pending criminal case against him in England. And FIFA came out and said abundantly, clearly, right, crystal clear, that we don't interfere with the host country of World Cup issuing visa, while we encourage the host country to allow participating teams and fans to be part of the World Cup activities, but we don't interfere with that. So if those things hinges on criminality, if it hinges on suspicion of the country that this person here will be a threat, or the person will violate their policy. So this is nothing strange we should be debating here, and we shouldn't expect that. Number one, I want to believe some folks were already on administrative processing. So those that are on administrative processing will have to be a long-term review to see if there's a reason to give entry to serve person or not. So it is within the counselor or the counselor to determine who will have the right to have an entry into the United States. So we should not see there as an obligation of the government of the United States to our national team to ensure that they have to have entry into into the United States to meet these encounters coming up. So no, this is not. But the information we are receiving, and I'm just trying to verify some of them, is that it's not. I think they didn't give visa. So this in two categories. Some folks were denied, and some folks are still on administrative processing. Meaning, they still will hold your book and see the possibility of if they can issue you the visa, at what level of issue. So again, to come to the United States, first and foremost, you need to convince the consular that you have ties back home with the country. That's one. Secondly, they want to be convinced that if you came here, you have reason to return to your home country. That's another thing. If the consular suspect any growing issues, that possibility or probability is very slim, trust me, that consular wouldn't issue you entry into the United States or any other country, if you will. So it's a basic line of suspicion and the consular's own ability to probe in terms of the interaction during the interview period. So that is the point. That is the point. So what unfolding in the country, and that is not verified. I'm also getting some information that some of our players that name was sent for visa. This is not yet verified, and I will hope to verify that. It is being speculated that they may have attempted to apply before and give some information that is different from this information that they will now grow up. They may have given some misinformation before, and now they came there, they said their name. This time around, those names are not going with their ordinary passports. That's the difference here. This time around, they are all going with service passport or official passport, particularly the football players. Most of them are going to have service passport. That's privileged Liberian passport. That's the last trench of that is still in line to the privileged book we have, the diplomatic, official, and that of service. Those that are performing on behalf of the Republic, like all the Lone Star football player, all of the Lone Stars team, that will be the football team, the national football team, the national volleyball team, basketball team, table tennis, the fact that you do representation of the country. Whenever you are leaving to come for that international representation on behalf of the Republic of Liberia, you are a bearer of a service passport. In some category, they will issue you official passport. So they went there in that land. But most of them may have gone there before in their private capacity with their ordinary passport. That's the passport of entitlement, right? They got some issues, and this is what that's filtering in. So we yet to probably before a couple of many hours, we're going to get more information as they unfold. But yes, it should not be something like it's a big deal when this is not a massive, even the massive international tournament that you expect teams to get in, because FIFA will encourage you to, hey, when a team is qualified, you have to allow them in. Now, the US will say, okay, for that reason, we don't have problem with people who allow. If this was going to be the World Cup level qualifier,
right,
we have most of them in, with the condition that you don't have criminal record or you don't nothing to threaten the national security of the United States.
Junkie, you know, I send an invitation to the embassy to have my brother come on vacation, and I told them, you know, he has all reason to return to Liberia. He's vice president of the University for Institutional Development. He has this, he has that. And they checked out and they gave him, I think, a 3 or 4 year visa, whatever visa he came in. And he stayed here for a month. He didn't want to stay. He went back home. He came back and he went. And those are the things they asked for. If you tell them, I'm going to play a friendly game, are you gainfully employed in Liberia? No. Do you have any investment to which you will be coming? He said, no.
Are you married?
Yeah, you're married.
Do you have children?
Got children? How you support your children? And when those questions come out, then you the red flag start. This guy is a risk. It's a flight risk. This man go to Minnesota, he's not coming back. So these are the things that people look at. And listen, you have to give it to the folks. Like Honorable P, we said, it's a privilege when you come to their country. They don't want you coming to become a liability on the system, because Pee Wee is working here. I'm working. When those guys come and they enter here on the state, it is our salary that they will deduct to support them. So these are some of the things we are talking about when you go for your visa. They will be asking you, is there any reason that you will be coming back? Do you have any reason to come back to Liberia? And the way you fill out the form, we tell them whether you have any reason to come back. If I were in Liberia, I don't have a job, I don't have a place to stay, I don't have any income, I have children, I'm suffering to support them. What may you tell American?
You fly race.
Of course.
That was almost the same thing I mentioned from the beginning of this conversation. The U.S. government is seriously concerned with the issue of people going on visitation visa and the ESCOM. The U.S. is concerned with that because there are many undocumented individuals in the U.S. there that went there through these kinds of arrangements. So the U.S. is very much concerned, and the U.S. is trying to stringently scrutinize those that will be going for that friendly march. Because, mind you, Mr. Gilman, Honorable Pee Wee, and Sally, the U.S. is a place where people go to for opportunities because of the structure and the architecture that have been set up by the people of the United States. So on that basis, going to the U.S., that's why they place all of these bureaucratic measures in place so that you will be well trained before you can enter the U.S. If Junkies Morris have children here, and Junkie Morris said maybe he's stopping with one of his friends, he does not have anywhere to sleep, struggling and things, then because of his charismatic posture within the country decided to pull him on the national team to go to the U.S. And the U.S. Embassy do their own administrative fact finding before issuing any visa in his passport. And all of these facts come out and the people get them. Do you think they will allow Junkies Morris to go to the U.S.? Because that is going to be a clear conveyor belt to changing the life of Junkies Morris, not through the means that the offer people at their volition, but through a crooked means, a Nicodemus way of entering the U.S. So the U.S. is concerned of all of these things because it had happened before. There have been individuals living from here, going for football game, they can't show face. Individuals living from here, going for talent show, they can't come back. Individuals living from here, going on visitation, they can't come back. Some people go to the U.S. because they had death trouble. In Labrador, the way we can say death trouble. If somebody died from you, you go there, because of that, lay sympathy can be there in issuing you visa. So if you get a visa now, you go to the U.S. after the funeral, repast, everything, you stay there, and you there more than 7 years now. All of those things, the U.S. have been tracking them, tracing them, and making sure that they have the correct information on it so that they don't violate the rights of other people. And I think this is where they're trying to draw their conclusion from, to make sure that they screen those that are expected to be given access to enter the U.S., to screen them well so that they don't have that same situation of making decision, then they regret on the decision. So it will be better, who is Junkies Morris. You will check his criminal record as to whether he will not be a threat and liability on the U.S., as to whether he will not be a violator of the laws, where he will want to overstay because of that. You have from the people you go to, the people who your stranger father or stranger mother, you have from them, you go to different place and hire yourself and start putting those people there, part of legitimacy in the U.S. under threat. All of those things, I think the U.S. is right, because if you are going to the U.S. through such means, then it means that you do not appreciate the U.S., because in all fairness, they've afforded us every opportunity to enter there legally and legitimately. The U.S., in fact, had provided year in, year out the DV program, which have accorded many Liberians the opportunity to travel to the U.S. and change their lives, and even extend helping hand back home. So we will have to understand that, like Honorable P. we said, the U.S. visa is a privilege. It's a privilege. It is not a right, because the U.S. government is not forced to accept you to enter in the U.S. You get about a country, you ought to be there and make life and enjoy yourself. So they are not under obligation to giving you visa. So all of those things, we need to take them into consideration and limit our expectation and manage it well.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy 179th Independence Day. Liberia will be celebrating our nation's Independence Day across the world. I'm believing and I'm hearing that the celebration is going to be in Grand Bassa, my hometown. If that's true, we will be celebrating. But all the other,
quickly, I just thought to provide this information. That's how I was working on things. So we have 5 players, basically, that were denied a visa. 5.
Okay.
2 local goalkeepers. Our 2 goalkeepers, they are all local based from Liberia. With the team, and then 3 international players that are currently on vacation in Liberia. 3 international players playing outside of Liberia on vacation in Liberia. They were also denied. So the 5. So the information I'm getting from inside the FA is saying to me that 5 players were denied. Then they gave the official Sekou Kone got his visa. This one, the official Sekou Kone got the visa. But here's what it came to. The coach now decided to say, okay, we have a lot of Liberians here in the U.S. doing some engagement, playing for different teams and whatsoever.
Right.
We're going to give them the opportunity now to allow most of the Liberians to feature in this coming game. Now, but there's still a sticky issue here. This game may not go on. I'm reliably told, for instance, it may not go on if the government fail to fund the game. There's no money.
Of course.
So the game will go on if the government were to provide money between now and I think the time the
next
gap
week.
is
Next week.
It's next week. So if the government will have to provide the money, that money will have to be available between now and probably this Thursday or latest Friday or so. Yes. So there's a very small window we have. So 5 players denied, including 2 local goalkeepers, 3 international players on vacations. The 5 denied. They gave some of the official, including second corner, visa. These are the people that will join the team to come and so on. But now the coach is already here and showing that most of the players, like Dolly is already here. Dolly is going to be part of the team. He's going to make something, or they're going to go around, check for some of our young, talented.
But Pee-wee, I mean, they can come and get you. You a talented guy. Nobody, we can't play with nobody in the goal.
But visa, I got the ready goalkeeper, right?
Yeah, we gotta pay him. Well, that's it. We got our number 1 goalkeeper, number 2 goalkeeper. So who wanna be in the goal? But listen to this, guys. Let me say that. You see, this is what we are talking about. We talk about IQ. Okay, it's what they call the intelligence quotient. Means how you think, how you gauge things. Now let's look at this. If I were within the Liberian soccer or sports politics, I would have looked at the dynamics of what America is going through. That Minnesota and the particular White House and this administration, they are at loggerhead. Minnesota is basically the heartbeat of illegal immigrants, according to them. There's a lot of, if you want to have safe haven and all of that, you want to abscond, where you go is Minnesota. You've been seeing Minnesota and ICE. It is a battle and they are still fighting. And then you go to the MSA, you say, I want to go over there. So those who are sponsoring these teams, they're supposed to think that, listen, the government is on our back. Minnesota has been in the news for the past 12 months, nonstop. The ICE is breaking down those, shooting people. They are doing everything. Why will you put our government officials, our people at risk by taking that? Where the game is not in Baltimore, it's not in Maryland, it's not in Florida, but of all places, Minnesota. Before I come to you, Joseph, that Honorable Pee-wee, I mean, you've been working at the embassy, I mean, at the foreign minister. You know, those are some of the things that, you know, if you organize the events, you know, are they friendly? Is this country Liberia friendly? You know, all of these places, it's a red state, it's a blue state. Who's in power in Washington, D.C.? How the relationship with that state? All of these things you got to, but you can't just get up and say, put on your visa, we go on a friendly, jolly. That's why we just go on a friendly march. That's
I think part of what you just said, the authority were also very sensitive and mindful of the fact that they didn't just gather all local players from there to move in, and that's one of the things. There were 2 local-based Liberian national team players, the 2 goalkeepers. They are locally based. Those are the 2 keepers that were denied. And then for the 3 players, they play somewhere outside of Liberia. I don't know where in Liberia, but 3, they are currently on vacation. You know, currently that's football community is on vacation, right? Particularly during the kind of time, they're all on a break around this time. And that's part of the reason why even the FIFA selected June to always host the World Cup, that 1 month between June to July. And then normally football player will take the breaks from May up to May, June, July, then August, then we start getting the football season back on course. Like most of the season, the top leagues will all open up thereabout and then moving on in August, then go full blast. So they are on break currently, and they got denied also. But we got some international based football players also that are based somewhere outside of some of them, probably somewhere in Europe or other areas. Some got visa because some of them got visa to come here before. They've been in and out. So they got visa. I think they would be they would make a trip. Those that are outside, they got their own visa from their respective country of residence, where they are currently on contract to play for a certain club in certain countries or outside of Liberia. Some got the visa. Those that left from their bases and went to Liberia, 3 that are on vacation, they applied and they denied them. I don't know why. And again, the counselor would know why he did that. There may be a reason, because there will all be communication why you didn't have the opportunity to get the entry visa. That would be indicated. So the authority, I think they were sensitive to that and tried to do it. Part of it also was to also say, okay, hey, can we make use of and as you rightly stated, in the Minnesota area, we have a lot of talented Liberian kids that are involved into the game, and in other part of this country also. So can we tap into their talent and see that would be part of the scouting process by the coach? The coach, as he said, he's going to be robust and very meticulous in terms of how he's going to get engaged in scouting our players, right? And before I'm one of those football fanatics that said, I think it is proper to start putting this coach on what we call shuttle sport diplomacy or shuttle scouting diplomacy, if I will. You find some money, get someone, put the coach on the kind of a shuttle diplomacy, evolve into one place to the next, see what we have, what kind of a talent we have. Can we explore this talent? And then if this talent is useful and prepared, then you put that talent into the national team. I think so. Some of what he's going to be doing this game, but the bottleneck now, there's some hurdle. I don't know if the government going to move expeditiously to have that resolved, or if again it's going to be in the name of always the no money syndrome that will push our national team to not meet this wonderful friendly vocation with the Minnesota United FC. I think it will be appalling. It will be very counterproductive. It will be unfortunate where we too miss on this just in the name of no funding from the Liberian government. So everything is set now. The 3-player wouldn't come. The 5-player wouldn't. The 3 and 2 goalkeepers. Some of our officials on their way, they got the visa. They should come. Those from Europe, some of them are already in here. The rest will come. They'll join the team here. We have players already on the ground to meet the encounter against Minnesota FC. But do we have the funding to have this? Because you need to give the players some per diem. Those players that will be playing, take care of them, the hotels and other situations. You need those funding before the situation can move in. You can't keep the players at their home quickly here. You can keep them at their respective homes, and you wanting them to go and train and then go on the football field to play. That is not the kind of sucker.
They can sleep in their car.
Yeah, that's not the kind of sucker.
Let me welcome Honorable Peabody. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you, man. Good to see everybody. Happy
Dr. Peabody, you better have your house open, because we're gonna have a lot of homeless soccer players. They would need somewhere to stay. So you gotta help them out.
But how many got visa already?
No, well, most of the players from what we get gathering that will be playing will be local people who are in the United States, people who are here, because most of the folks that were on the ground in Liberia, they denied them. 5 is confirmed according to Honorable Pee Wee. 5 are both goalkeepers and players and all of that. But then on the other hand,
but how you can play with 5 players?
But they deny 5. They deny all of them. So what's happening now is the crookedness in Liberia, as always. They were more official on that roster to come to America than actually players.
Of course, they're going through that.
The American embassy caught on to that too. But you see, this is what there were. Another Caribbean team wanted to come and play Miami FC, right? Inter Miami FC. With Messi and then all of those guys, and the Miami folks said, for you to play us, you gotta pay us $1 million to play against us.
Right.
So obviously Liberia is not at that level to come to play against Miami FC, where Messi and all, to play against people, to be seen on the court with them, with you have to pay them. For you to just come, because it would be 7-0 anyway, or 10-0. Yeah. But for you to be on their court, to be a Hard Rock, you saw the stadium at the World Cup, Hard Rock.
Right.
For you to come here, are you kidding me? But yeah, welcome to the show. I'm coming to you, Dr. Peabody. Let me go to Mr. Sally. I know you have problem with your internet, but don't you think it was a mistake to schedule the game in Minnesota where they're having some severe problem with the administration?
Well, I don't think the organizer already made a mistake, because when you check Minnesota, where you have majority of Liberians and also blacks, They wanted to come, at least just to showcase the team, celebrate the Independence Day celebration. So I don't think there were any mistake in selecting the venue like Minnesota. But like Mr. P we said, right? Having a U.S. visa is a privilege, and yes, the embassy thought otherwise. Because bear in mind, this thing happened once upon a time. There was a musical concert hosted in America, and a lot of artists left from here, and some of them they didn't return, like the Les of Friday the Seven Man, Jerry Donso, they didn't return to Liberia. So, and I don't think the embassy want to have that mistake again. So they thought it wise. Yes, we can from their own view. They 5 players, 2 goalkeepers, 3 international base. They didn't meet our own criteria set the benchmark. So I don't think there was any mistake in selecting the venue, Minnesota. They just wanted, Liberians just to feel part of it, feel part of the celebration.
Okay, Dr. Peabody, if you're ready, you can opine. But let me go to Junkies. Junkies, like I said, Minnesota been on the hot seat for the past 12 months. They on lockdown by the federal government because of constant immigration issue, people overstaying the visa, illegal activity, a lot of criminal activities going on there. And then you put that kind of thing and say, we're coming there for friendlies. These are all red flags.
I think that they were I was coming. The fact that our people will be undergoing such training, and our government is aware, and that should be the responsibility of our government to make prompt intervention, because those are citizens of Liberia. It is the government responsibility to protect every citizen, whether you are in Liberia or outside there. That's why we even have consulates near capitals, and we have embassies. So, Mr. Gibman, this situation in my mind is not timely. That's how I just want to run it up. It's not timely. Our people are undergoing pressure. The government is aware that most of our brothers and sisters in the U.S. are residing in Minnesota. So carrying such a recreational activity to them is like bringing them to the public, or bringing government's attention to them, that the people you have been looking for the illegal overstay individuals, you can see them. That's how, for me, I see it to be. The government supposed to use reasonable judgment. If the government has resources in that direction, I would have thought to boost the tourism sector, to open up Liberia to the world, since concomitantly the U.S., Mexico, and Canada are hosting the world's biggest sporting event. That will also be an added advantage to Liberia's international image, tourism-wise now, that we send for Minnesota FC, and Minnesota FC comes to Liberia. We play Minnesota FC here in Liberia to indicate that Liberia is a safe place, Liberia is peaceful, Liberia is prospering, and Liberia is open for business. That's how I see it. So reasonably, if it would have been properly thought about by the government folks, I think they would have done it in a way that Liberians were going to be happy, because you taking a game there, many Liberians are not positively affected. If you bring the game to Liberia, we have more citizens than the citizens we have out there. So if you bring that game to Liberia, it will reenact that spirit of sportsmanship that always kept us together, for which we used to be the duty brothers and sisters. But today, if we will say we want to spend money on 20 players or maybe 23 players, including 10 plus officials, I don't know all of those officials, what positions are they going to occupy on a team? I know whether there are 5 coaches and 5 technical directors. I don't know how that setup is. But such game, we also needed to look at and consider the cost. The cost, transportation after getting visa, transportation to and fro, feeding and lodging and other miscellaneous. All of those needed to be taken into consideration before that decision could be reached. Since indeed it is Independence Day, I want to close on this. I'll re-emphasize that it would have been okay that Minnesota FC came to Liberia and played Liberia on her Independence Day on Liberia soil. That would have given an advantageous diplomatic international edge to Liberia. That's how I see it. Back to you for control, Mr. Gaiman.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking sports for about an hour. Now let's go to some other issues affecting us in Liberia. This news came out yesterday. We didn't discuss it because we ran out of time. There's something serious going on in Bond County at the Phoebe Hospital. And finally, the president got involved and ordered the immediate opening of Phoebe Hospital. He had set up a committee. 3 people were suspended. This is serious. Medicine, health are now become so political in Liberia now. Everywhere you go, people, I mean, everything is politicized. Let me go to Dr. Peabody. Dr. Peabody, healthcare now, I mean, can you imagine healthcare, hospitals? The president has to get involved. Government has to get involved. The last time we saw the people from Phoebe, this Morris woman, she was there and telling people, we will strike, you harmonize my salary, I will harmonize my pay, I will harmonize your vote. And again, she came out this week and said, we have enough money now, we can buy as much food as we want. The same Phoebe hospital that she went to, she was the only one that was appointed from there. Now the hospital is retrogressing, people are striking, the president had to get involved. It is, people are dying, Dr. Peabody.
I mean, people are dying because you don't have the healthcare facility. And Phoebe Hospital have been neglected for a very long time. Government have not invested, even after some of the NGOs left that hospital. The government have not invested into that hospital. The only focus now we see is JFK, and JFK is not even meeting the needs of the Liberian people. There's still a lot for JFK to do. So I think opening hospital is not just something you can order to open, but do you have the facility in place? Do you have the equipment needed to treat people and to do that? You can just come out, order Phoebe Hospital open. I must admit, I don't know what's going on with it, but I know they have been suffering a lot. There's a lot been going on. There were times that the generator wasn't working. There were times that it didn't have basic stuff there. In fact, many years ago, probably like 6-7 years ago, I had the opportunity to go to Liberia, and we donated a large consignment of medical supplies to to Phoebe Hospital. So the thing is ordering the hospital open without even making studies, feasibility studies to see what they need, what all they need. It won't solve the problem. People still go there and die because they got nothing there. People will still go to that hospital and die, don't get the right treatment. So I think what the government needs to do now is to put some money into Phoebe Hospital, spend some good money. There's a lot of money they have. Some of the money that they're using to charter private planes to fly around. The president could take some of that money and invest it into Phoebe Hospital and build some facility and other things there. But Phoebe Hospital is not together. They've been having a lot of problems, and that's a nice big hospital that government should have not allowed that hospital to deteriorate like it is. They shouldn't have allowed that to go down when the NGO others left. They should have gone right in it to invest.
Sally, Joe, Liberia, we are known for building walls and having dedication and celebrating, but it's just the wall, right? Like the build school, no desk, no utility, no water, no electricity, nothing. And they just celebrate then when we get teachers. Teachers don't get paid. We don't have maintenance. We don't have anything. It's just dedicate the building. And this is what killing us. We can build more buildings, dedicate more buildings. Once you don't have the infrastructure in place, it is useless.
Yeah, so the issue of Phoebe is something where we continue to see. Like you said, there are a lot of people, politicians, sometimes try to use some of these things for their own selfish gain. It happened during the regime of former President Weah when he dedicated the Embry Hospital, and you had nurses from the same Phoebe. They were in a protest saying that we don't need multiplicity of these buildings, like you said. The money you took to build the Embry, you should have invested in other health facilities. So again, we see it. And just of recent, we saw the bishop for the Lutheran Church accusing some big names within the county, Bond County, accusing Prince Moi, accusing other caucus members of playing politics with the hospital. Yes. Nowadays, we cannot afford. We are in the 21st century. We cannot afford to see our people, dying. We cannot afford to see people going to the hospital where you see nurses. All of them, they are on strike, demanding wages and bills. I think it was right for what the president did, to intervene. Because bear in mind, shame to these caucus, because they should have, taken seize of the matter before even reaching to the president. From your own county, like the people were on strike for 2 days. We didn't see caucus members from Bond County. Where were Prince Moi? Prince Moi is the chairman on Ways and Means. Senator Kwe is the chairman on Internal Affairs. We didn't see caucus member intervene, to put this thing under control. The president have to leave from Turkey, come back home to Liberia before putting this entire Phoebe thing under control. I think, kudos to the president. The president, in his wisdom, decided to intervene, because Phoebe has been one of the oldest hospitals, within that region. Not only, catering to Bond County, also catering to some part of Mangibi. People can leave from Lofa, to come to that hospital. I think it was a good thing from the president, to intervene. You can take it from Mr. Gabriel.
Junkies, why do we force the hand of our leaders? I mean, with all the international issues, everything going on, the president have to go all the way down to the local hospital to bring order. I mean, what is wrong with us? I mean, this is terrible.
Mr. Gibman, this is the Liberia's problem. I always said to people, the last time, KOK was even laughing at me the last time when I said, and I continue to say, the president cannot and will never be ubiquitous. Meaning the president cannot be seen and found everywhere at the same time. So responsibilities are dedicated to individuals who are also Liberians. Why are they not playing their part? Why? Then it brings me to the issue of discipline. This is why when we are on these platforms, we also add the issue of education to our broadcast, because it's important. Discipline. Good minors start from way down there. So most of what's happening is because of the lack of discipline. Many of our public officials are not disciplined enough, and they are just seeking the positions just for the position and the benefits that the position goes with. So they are not really up to do the work of the Liberian people, the reason why they were placed in a position, but to just puff up, arms up, and just accrue whatever resources that is attached. But in terms of proficiency, efficiency, and effectiveness on their part, and understanding their rights and responsibilities, people who the young ones should look at and try to emulate so that they become good leaders and have good manners for tomorrow so that we have a civilized environment, are the people that are spoiling the system. They are flouting all of the laws. They go to work 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Lawmakers go for session instead of session starting at least 10 o'clock. Lawmakers start session 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and even in some cases 4 o'clock. I was there, so I knew. And let's say I know how they have been doing it and how they stay doing it. Discipline. This is almost all over the government, different entities. Discipline. People working at the Capitol building in the central administration, they go to work 12 o'clock, they leave from the job site during lunchtime, and they don't return. In fact, when the people call for hair count, the number of persons you don't see regularly at the Capitol building are the people that assemble for hair count. Discipline. Another form of corruption. Another form of taking away from Liberia. So these things are the different compounded, complex situations Liberia is faced with. That's why we are going nowhere. How every fairness, you will have a minister of health. You will have other administrative heads at the level of the Phoebe Hospital. And the president will go for an international confer and spend almost a week. In a week time, the hospital was being shut down because of people who are ineffective and incompetent, people who don't have love for the country. It's wrong. The president gave you a position to function. When you are made the Minister of Health, any matter that arises from the health sector, that a responsibility to make sure you do chichipuli there, Mr. Minister or Madam Minister. So you don't renege on your responsibility and you only think on protecting your rights. You have to balance your rights and responsibilities properly. That's how you are described as honorable people. That's how you are considered as responsible citizens. But you cannot have position where you ride big cars around the place, getting fast salaries and living in opulence with your extravagant lifestyle. Then the position that is giving you all of those opportunities, you are paying lip service to the position. It is unfair. It is corruption at the highest level. And in my mind, it is incompetence and indiscipline from way down there that, deeply entrenched in many of our public officials. And we need to turn it around through these mediums. Back to you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We got about 10 more minutes to go before we go to our line, because our brothers and sisters, our fans, our Freedom FM at 7 o'clock our time and 11 o'clock your time, we have to sign off. So we're going to do one more topic. Honorable people, let me start with you. The House of Representatives finally passes a resolution to add 62 seats. Some people are saying the budget is already tight. You're going to add another $16 million onto the one budget.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people are saying, well, the population has grown, and you got to do. Some people are saying, well, if the population grows, then let us increase the I guess the demographics. I think it was when during 2005 were like what is it 20,000 people per district. The population has grown, so instead of 20,000, why don't we just say 40,000 each? Instead of adding additional seats that would take the money from, we are president now at 70-80% total budget expenditure for recurrent expenditure. Then you're adding another 16 seats, minimum $1 million a piece.
Yeah. So, and this is again, I don't understand the reason after the census they needed to go back and redraw the constituents map or do a massive redraw of the system. But again, the threshold, and this reminds me of the late Professor Senator Sumo Glakbai Kupi, and the last time they pushed to come to the threshold, it was a very serious debate. They have to run the math aloud, and he was one of those that had to come to this line because he knew how to actually crush the number, if you will. And then the threshold we have currently is 40,000. And part of the reason why Senator Kupi and the rest of them, I think Senator Kupi was on that committee from the Sunday, the late Clotu Watterson, I think the former Vice President, Madam Taylor, and the rest of that. There was some very strategic committee set up to look, and the late Senator Darko also, I think, if my memory serves me right, was he still around or so, or before he came in. But here's what I was going to, and you're right about that. Is the government trying to increase the government wage bill? And that is part of that. It brings a lot more. If you were to send a 16 seats, not just a plaything we're talking about here. We will have the fact that the population has expanded. The country is relatively a very poor country in terms of resources. We don't have the resources to fund all of our government priorities, if you will. We have a lot of government spending entities and very minimum revenue generating institutions in the country. Bulk of those institutions that we spend this money on, they are all just spending entities. They are not revenue generating entities. So I would have thought that there will be some discussions among themselves to say we need to do some safe costing mechanism here. But the intent is just simple. The reason behind that is selfish, is to support their personal attachment in terms of ensuring that most of them believe with this, they will have the opportunity to recontest and win elections. So they will keep their seats moving. They will continue to have the political powers that they all be aiming for, if you will. So, hey, we will not create a space to say we will expand the numbers in terms of the threshold. Now, if it is 40,000, what can we come to the sense? Run the number around. Run to the sense and push down to maybe 70,000 or 60,000 per every constituents will be entitled to representation. If that is the case, you run that and you will still probably have, even if you have one or two, but 16 seats across the country. So where is that going to be? There's going to be more debate now coming up. Are we going to focus on most of the particularly the bigger metropolitan area, which is the most rather Greater Monrovia area? Is it where we're going to concentrate? If the concentration is going to be there, then how are we supposed to run the math now and say, then we go back and reflect on Grand Coup County? The smaller county, normally, that's where the problem can be. And I can remember a night, someone could be almost spending the night at the Senate. I would have gone to visit him. He said, I can't go home, son, because we have to come down to something. I need to find some numbers here. You're doing it so that you will not disenfranchise the smaller counties. So I don't know how to went about this. I will want to wait and see this, first and foremost, as to how to run this thing through and to say 16 new seats. Oh, the 16 seats. Did they apportion the 16 seats already? I haven't seen this.
Yes, I know Grand Bassa has one.
Grand Bassa have one.
Yeah, I think Nima has 3.
Nima got 3? You see what I was doing?
Yes, then Monserrato got, I think, 6.
Monserrato got 6. And then in Lofa?
Lofa 1. Lofa 2.
Lofa 2.
Mm-hmm. So Nima got additional 2 because Nima should be 11.
So
increased to 11 districts.
Okay,
so Nima going to be additional 2. Okay, Nima got 9 currently, so it's going to be 11 now, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so with that, basically, so but all the content does something.
Yeah, Grand Basso,
No, grandpas are always
Maryland.
they're among the top.
Yeah, Grand Basso got one.
Go to
You're talking
River
about the apportionment. No, nothing for River Cess.
Go to Grand Cru.
Nothing for Grand Cru.
Go to River G.
Nothing for River G.
Go to Cape Man. I think Sonny will go there.
Cape Man got one.
Go to Bombing. I think Sonny will go
Bombing
there.
got one.
Go to Bapolu.
Nothing.
Damn. So
what's about Lofa?
Yeah, Lofa will have something.
Lofa got two.
Lofa will have something. And the reason why I'm saying this, so you must give me quickly. I sat with Professor Kupi, the late Professor Kupi, a mentor and a father figure, and he said there's the difficult aspect of the whole thing. You will disenfranchise the smaller counties.
Yes, I agree with that.
And then when I was coming, I didn't know, I didn't see it, I didn't heard it just now, but I knew because I had conversation with the Kupi before on this thing, the smaller county will be affected. And then what I was saying to you, Jenna, they went to it.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
It's a debate. You are going to disenfranchise them. That's what the problem is. And I knew River G would have been affected, River Star would have been affected, Grand Cru would have been affected.
Yes, Bapolu.
Bapolu. I knew.
Well, at least they got their two senators. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but my reservation here is: do we need the addition at this time?
That's the biggest question ever, brother.
Do we need it?
Yeah.
Is it necessary?
They would have just run the numbers up,
right?
And balance it to the 73.
Yes.
So, Junkie, so the total number is going to be 16 plus 73, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 89. 89 seats.
Okay, how many Monserrato got?
Monserrato got additional 3.
3? Oh, okay.
From 17 to 20.
You know what they did it? So if I do just post the current number and run it against what the 16 they did. Mm-hmm. So they did it, it went incrementally, right? So the most populated is Monserrato will get 3. Right. Then you go down the sequence that way. It will be the next one will be
Nima 2. Lofa Magiri, 2.
Yes. Bon, how many they get a Bon? Because Bon is the
Bon 2. So Bon is anticipated to be 9 districts.
9 districts. Yeah, Bon got currently 7. Nima currently got 9. So Nima will have 11. Bon currently got 7. They will have 9. Lofa currently got 5. They will have 7. Grand Basso currently have 4. They will have 6.
No, Grand Basso have 5.
No, sorry, Grand Basso already have 5. They will have 7.
Yes.
Yeah, they will have 7. Now the unfortunate thing, River G got 2. They will stick to 2.
They will stick with 2.
River G got 3. They will stick to 3.
3 to 3.
Bapolu got 3. They will stick to 3.
got 2. They will stick to 2.
Riverside got 2. They will stick to 2.
So you will disenfranchise them in terms of representation.
And Grand got 1. Maryland got 1.
Again, the reason they've tried to justify it is that the population is not there. That's going to be part of the reason they're going to justify it. But the issue about representation in terms of what the Constitution says, they have to be after the Constitution is very instructive. Are we going along this? This is going to be a little problematic. I don't know if the Senate is going to. I know they're going to pass on the Senate. That hope and see.
I think the Senate should reject that.
And
I think
those senators, I want to believe on this disenfranchised counties, may want to fight back against it. That's going to be my insinuation.
But they are only 3.
Because
they are 3 against 30.
They are 6.
They are 6 against 24.
Yeah, 6 out of 30. No, so they can still beat them.
Yes.
They can beat them.
One of the main reasons the Senate will overwhelmingly reject this instrument is politically creating more districts will be strenuous for the senators.
They will not reject it. In their favor, trust me, they will support it.
They will support it.
They will be able to reject it, Junkies.
But look,
the senators will support that.
Yes, because senators looking for a bad boys, right? They have in mind either one of their staff,
some of the office staff,
right? So they will support so they can have control over the county. This is all about power. So yes, they would do that, or they would bring their friends from abroad and say, can't spend some money, something coming up. And
yeah, well, the particular area I got constituents there, and it had already been taken from this other district, so you can have an edge there through me. You're right.
It's about power. So, Dr. Peabody, you are very optimistic. For some reason, you are very, or you, if you say you think the Senate will reject it, you know the people very well.
Yeah.
No, without being, any other way, but I'm saying when it comes to the Liberian people versus the politicians, never trust anything they tell you.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Because it is always in their interest. But the junkies, introduce your station. Let us welcome our folks. We got Tobasi. You want to go ahead and read the name?
Sure. This is the closing argument here on Freedom FM 87.9, and we are here every weekdays from Mondays to Fridays, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. The closing argument here on Freedom FM 87.9. Honorable Henry P. Body, the doctor, is here. Honorable Jerome Gibman is also here. Honorable Sylvester Peewee, Honorable Joseph K. Sally, and I'm Junkies Morris live.
When we giving our honorable name like that,
yeah, we're taking it from those guys.
We're taking it from
right? But we took it from them and give it to us.
Yeah, but Madam Bowie did that. She did that for us.
She took it from them.
Yeah. So to those following us via our live stream, we want to say welcome to every one of you. Keep following and share our live stream, and our radio followers keep listening. This is the closing argument here on Freedom FM 87.9. Vinicius Junior Bar is watching from District 16. That's Nukutan. Eric Kanga is also watching. Ahmed Hammer is following from Kakata City. Flex Electronics is also watching from Florida, the Sunshine State. Cotto Brown is following. Joan Tello is also watching from Broadview, NASCAR Estate. Ja Eddie is following from Wee District. That's Grand Bassa County.
Yes.
Augustine Talley is also following. Mozart Dennis is watching from Minnesota. And Togbasi Christopher Woloti Togbasi is following from Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's the US of A. We got Nora Hooks is also watching. Let us not be doubling our comments and things. Mark Borrow Jen is following. Samuel Akwesi is following. Joseph Weir is following us live. Wherever you are, this is the closing argument here on Freedom FM 87.9. Robert SK Fire is watching. Lasana Fode is watching. Emmanuel Bro is also following the closing argument from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the USA. And we have Ruth Roberts Pengba. She's also following us. Okay. Oktu Gai is following. Diamond Dabi is also following us. Otu Gai is following from Grand Jide County. That's the Republic of Liberia. And to all of you following us via the radio, Session Harris, all of you, D-Money, keep following. And this is the closing argument here on Freedom FM 87.9. Back to you, Mr. Gibman.
Yeah, let's open the line for your fans and your folks to opine.
Okay.
Got about 20 minutes.
Okay, so you listen to our talking points tonight. You can place in your call. You can place in your calls here on the closing argument. This is Freedom FM 87.9. Call us on those numbers: 0776 104 104, 0776 104 104, 086 500 104, 086 500 104. Our diaspora callers, You can call us on our WhatsApp line on +231 86 500 104 +231 86 500 104. Call us. This is the closing argument here on Freedom FM 87.9. So back to you, Mr. Gilman, as we with call.
Great. Our next topic here is, in this country, Dr. Peabody, medical waste is very, 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 very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they got special certification in removing medical waste, collecting medical waste, disposal of medical waste. They got special way to do them. Now we are hearing that the JFK, the hospital is actually burning their own waste.
Oh, wow.
And the neighbors there, they are all complaining.
Yeah. So I got our first caller on the line. Your name and where are you joining us from? Go ahead, the closing argument.
The speaker putting out the chair, anyway, you're in district for Banana SLV district by chair. So, this is the district number, I know why we know. But now, we're in a young Sano, or you're not double Sano.
Sano got additional one district.
Yes, I really want to go run Sano. So, if you every person in Sano, so you run away from countrymen. So, unfortunately, you're going to speak up for the next story, but I'm not that way.
Okay, we'll leave you there and go to the diaspora to take this call. Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
My comment here or my saying is, these seats these guys are creating, what have they done for the people? What laws have they made that benefit the citizen? But the whole ideology of creating this seat is the idea of Thomas Fowler and Richard Kuhn, because they know the seat they are holding right now, it is threatening. So therefore, they got to create a loophole that they must be able to fit in, that while they start to share it all over in the various county. But it means nothing. It's just waste of resources. The country is perishing. The hospital is perishing. We got no better things to do in the country than you guys every time they want to pass law, my share inside it, where my court. That's why they just coming to add to cause more chaos in the country. But we leave it like that for election day. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll leave that caller there from the US and go back to line one. Hey, kindly help us reduce your monitor volume. How are you, Mabenu from the township of West Point? Welcome. Oh, Mabenu, what's happening? The credit, the Hummer now the credit. Yeah, so Mr. Given, as we stay with cost, back to you.
Yes, Flex Electronics got the point here. He says in America here, OSHA, right, which is the health authority here, they in charge of safety. He is saying that they have special something called the blood-borne pathogen training, which we all know. You can't just take garbage from the hospital and just do anything when you got to be trained to collect waste. Those needles you were talking about, some of these people got communicable diseases. And they got communicable diseases. You can't just take gloves and stuff that people die in and just go and burn it. Here, the people have incinerators. You can't just take it and pour fire on it. And the whole neighborhood, like the people are complaining now, is affecting the entire neighborhood. So all our educated folks that go to Liberia and get hired, don't they know this thing? Joe, Mr. Sally, what is going on with these people?
Mr. Gamer, it's a serious problem here when it comes to the issue of garbage. When you walk past the street of Monrovia, you go to some of these residential areas, some of these streets corner, you will see garbage all over. imagine someone will be in car, they will eat biscuit, they will take a biscuit, a paper or plastic, they will chunk it also. Yeah, they will take banana and piri, they will eat a banana, they chunk it also. And we continue to face this thing. And much is not been done through the facility like the Monrovia City Corporation, the Pinsville City Corporation. They are not doing much because when you go like interview, then they will tell you say funding, we don't have the capacity. Their own capacity is just about money. They will tell you say they don't have the capacity. We don't have the funding to do it. People come just pass when you come to Liberia, just drive through the entire Japanese freeway. You will see you will see dikes all over. People get their homes. The disadvantage you will come, they will tell you say, oh, they can throw that away. And when they're going to throw the dead, they're not going to throw the dead nowhere. They're going to put the dead ground on the quota. You wake up in the morning, you see dike all on the quota. Monrovia is smelling. Monrovia is very smelling.
Isn't that the responsibility of the Monrovia City Corporation? What kind of garbage collection have they put in place?
But like when you talk to them, like just this Go Monrovia Day, just a few months ago, the MCC celebrated Monrovia Day, and some of the questions that I was posed to the mayor, they are working along with community leaders to see how best they can establish zonal leaders. When you have died, there will be a hotline, and since then, get there to your house and call a hotline and see whether somebody will come to your aid or somebody will come take your garbage. They will not. Then the Zogos will come, will tell you, say, oh, you are there, we can show you there, we'll just give you some more money. And they will take the dike, they carry the dike on the main road. Take the dike, carry the dike, and put it on the street. When you ask MCC, you ask PCC, they will tell you that they don't have the capacity.
Wow. So then that create the problem because the regulating body who should be controlling garbage, who should organize or even bring in private garbage company are not doing that, and they can't deal with the trash in Monrovia. So you have the city being dirty, you have people getting sick, and you have the city smelling and stuff like that because Monrovia City Corporation have really done nothing. These guys came when they took over New Day. We saw everybody around town said they were cleaning Monrovia. Monrovia was very dirty, unappreciated.
I was sure somebody would want to drop. Somebody would want to drop. That's why you were doing it. That was so sure.
Yeah, we got somebody on the line. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Welcome. By God's grace, I'm guarded. Everyone here.
Okay, this is how to Dr. People is studio guest in the dance store there, a partnership with Studio FM. I want to say thanks to you all. Look, some platform can go there and express our view. They can be opening past. I mean, say things so closely active, like, oh, opening the land to Liberian people to express themselves on this platform. I said, they are from lady, they God bless them. But when they open the land to the old people, they say, oh, your phone. The person that said, oh, oh, Mr. is doing well, you're going to say, yeah, but I'm doing well, thank you, but they will not say over anybody. I want to say things so closely active and to the issue myself. No, what will they say? I'm in a moment today, I show it. They make it to rescue, now we get a rescue with drugs. Bringing poking and love that person, the thing will leave poking, it will not work. The poking will stand by it and will push it to the next top. They will tell us who brought the drugs in this country. I want to say thank you to them. It shouldn't do anything to profit man. The Liberian people. He got all the needs. In this country, he got all the needs. We'll call it on him to do the needful. The city boy is there for somebody to whip around, to ride it around. We don't want it. Then you do all jobs and then you call it. You got to document the properly that you call it. It's the way
Yeah. So what's your take? What's your take on the Phoebe Hospital issue we discussed?
Okay. Well, we have a day of being I'm going to pick the front. I'm going to get a front. I'll put in my soup. But not in the front soup. Like the soup, we're going to put the other everybody. We are home. We are all big at the whole job.
Line is breaking up.
Bonrich. That was Matt CC, the general, and this caller. Your name and you joining us from where? This is a closing argument.
Thank you very much, my dear brother, and thanks also to the panelists for the brilliant discussions on issues that I've.
Welcome, Poker Robert. No time, quickly.
Yeah, thank you very much, my dear brother. The thing is, for the American nations, I'm Pokat Robert, and I join you this even for unknown destinations. You see, Massively just said it rightly. When they see a challenge those or just capture government, which is the rescue government, because you go, you can now. The center of the job is hierarchy of the rescue. We had the information to our fingertip to the fullest. The only see we are
so that's why you are calling from unknown destination.
No, not enough for it. But calling from unknown destination is normal, or let's say scenario. Or
yeah, normal. Go ahead.
Thank you. The reason of that is because once the law that govern the country have been put up by the same person that will protect it. There's a critical force. Even you like not steal chicken, you have to that only context manage you, but apart from that, the political regime cannot save you. I tell you because there is no law now that can is protecting you. Everything has been put up. But to the point, you only see it's not just an ordinary person. Before even a CC can power, you only see have been at that tap of information disclosures. When brother CSA when I release the government will cry, they were here playing prepare more than making fun. But the same hierarchy called them and they told them that they must drag all of it. They had I want to use political language, but they must drag all of it.
Yeah, be decorous quickly.
Yeah. Then no, I know thank you. So in that form, man, the how you see the calling it's true, it's very clear on what is occurring. They are calling volunteers, they are reaching all the volunteers, they are finding all kind of mechanism to volunteer. Because they already know that volunteers got the number one FNL with Pretoria, with Vido. But that one part, we know that volunteers.
Yeah, so what's your take on the Phoebe Hospital issue and the burning of the medical waste beyond JFK there?
The issue about the Phoebe Hospital, people of one of the people I respect. It can be small pervasive, but I respect woman a lot. Because my mother is a woman and I have two beautiful girl children. And apart from that, it's woman that give birth to us. So any capacity of political achievement, I give that courtesy and respect. But you see what Martha Morris or Mother Martha Morris did to a friend, it's wrong. It's a chaos. It's a chaos that you committing against yourself. You cannot use your friend as a scapegoat to reach to a tap that you forget about where you claim that you got in you as a person of character. You see what she did to her friend? Her friend had been almost like a laptop. And she even come back laughing at her friend and telling her, when Mara making that statement, say, we'll get money now. It was not the program, it was not the Jimmy Murray, it was to our same friend that you use. That particular audio that King always say, I will get money, we'll pay for your phone. Because she hearing what the post saying we're in your circle. So you are for her to apologize, what she's doing now, she are acting in that kind of vindictive manner. But I can tell you, we try for our people, as Mercy said, for all we put our mother, because some of them are there, they were very conscious manner and say, we will not go this out. And some of them fit in mind the process. Not by the food, not by the process for them to Boga. Some people are going to the process now, they for the facility, but it's all what we have done and we can still do. You see it?
Okay.
Madam Boy, I just follow what you always, this is what you reap, what you sow, and what you reap. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll leave Poker Rawa there and go back to line 1 to take this call. This call on the line. Hello. Kindly lower your monitor. So welcome. Go ahead.
Just issue. So the problem is people I wanted to call, but I couldn't get you. We all have been a phone confidential issue. Yeah. I don't want to get your personal number. I've smoked the drugs for like 11 years. 11 good years. 11 good years. I got in this family back in the year. But now we're saying at the time it was Jovia friend. Okay. Our mom smaller than that. Every time we in that ghetto, people will go there to us, counseling us, talking to us, check on the Eastern and what have you. And most of us were telling our back on the ghetto, now since I left the ghetto like 6 years. Back to the ghetto sometimes when I see my brothers and sisters. I can be like, wow.
So that how we're coming to be?
Yeah, that is going on. Don't you want to see yourself in this country? We have to see ourselves. The majority of the is they are so robbers, criminals, on the top of wicked people. They will get that the people from the sour. The people already hungry, you see that? Yes, the people, they are the ones that are just in this country. But I don't want to talk much, but they know me, even the police, they will go there arrest the just.
Okay, just take my personal number, then we'll talk that over. 0775 666.
I'm coming.
Yeah, so 0775 666 050.
Okay,
0775 666 050. Okay, then you can call back. So we'll leave you there and take this call. Hello. Go ahead. This is the closing argument. Yeah, on Freedom FM 87.9.
Yeah. The first anyway, taking from the program, I'm speaking from Australia. My name is Jawinde is my name. What I want to say is that so many in the house actually it did not have anything to do with we Liberia. It's just 10 days. It's just 10 office over and not bring everything to take care of us. They don't issue in Liberia. They're not even giving the people the reference information who got the drugs in the country. They don't want to create more things in the house.
Wow, we lost that caller. We lost that caller.
Wow.
Yeah. So, okay. This call. Hello.
Good evening, how you doing?
I got screen, so.
This is Mom recording from State Concern for Justice.
Go ahead.
Well, the hospital. Just because I human being business people dying from on our side, that what we done. But if a hospital license were here, when Master Money was sitting and speaking, necessarily I'm on your body. What is passing through is that they can't let anything to go free. And for this drug business, we're supposed to try for rescue government for drugs. The police some of the years this year because the drug case is to not talk or to be threatening you. They make sure they clean to come out and so we didn't pray that God be with you and your children get taken up until the person who bring in drugs here when we know this. Without or not because according to them, this time around the cookie, we want to know who drink it. Then they started the issue where it's drink on this. When the drug business started, I was going to get on this. Look at today, we get to know that the president sent communication to him about who's doing it, who's bringing it from. Since that time, he cannot go say that in the crowd, we're talking about drug business. That really is the quality. Forget what they need. That really is what they need. We know who's doing it. That is people bringing it from the government. They were pouring the government. And lying said that young were bringing it from. Now God is exposing them with everything, dodging it, no one fight is clean inside. Thank you for putting me in time because I get this better when it trust me.
Okay, thank you. There. That was our last caller for tonight, Tuesday's edition of the program, The Closing Argument, here on Freedom FM 87.9. And Mr. Gilman, my time is up. Honorable Peabody, Honorable Sylvester Pee-wee.
See you, Honorable Junkie Morris. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. What tomorrow? The first 1 hour we're gonna have the folks from Cathedral for the first segment, Mr. Gilman, and then from there we'll go into the show. So
Cathedral people will be in the house.
The first segment, just the first segment, and then we'll go into the show. There's reunion coming up now. We gotta start.
Oh yeah, great school.
Okay.
Our friend.
Yeah, so I want to say Baba there from my end.
Okay.
And to all of you following, I'm Junkies Morris again, and I will see you on the May week's edition of the program, The Closing Argument, here on Freedom FM 87.9. Good night.
All right, Junkie. Good. Have a good night. Be safe out there, brother.
Great show. Honorable Pee-wee, you hear, it touches me when I hear someone say, I too, a victim of drugs. I was in the ghetto and I was able to make it out of there. But she said, when I return, when I go back there and see how many people didn't make it out there and the number getting bigger, it says that this drug thing is affecting almost everybody in the country.
It's affecting absolutely everybody. Some of us sitting here also, everybody. It's in all of our family line now in the country. Absolutely. It don't have to be your son, your brother, or whatsoever, but in the family line, it's affecting every Liberian household. It's a very small country. It's not as small as one we want to think. 6 million almost people, but the reason why it's permeating the system, and if care is not taken, the level it is metastasizing, if care is not taken, it's going to go beyond that, and that rate will be exponential. So part of the reasons we face currently in the country is the lack of the insensitive nature of the government to create opportunities for the young people to divert them from thinking about doing those kind of things, drugs. If there's as much more opportunities in the country, you will have pushed more young people to start getting engaged with work, start being more competitive there, getting things done, and probably you would have changed the mindset of most of them and get on the bottom. And that there's no much opportunity in the country in terms of job creation, of even creating more TVET institutions across the country. That would have been part of the road to redirect the young people And secondly, the government is lacking behind in terms of security. There's no major security in the country to bust these things out, but rather the security network, they are now in cahoots with these dangerous and guys against the country. So it is something that it's an exponential problem the country is faced with, and if care is not taken, it's going to be a serious problem. Or every household in the country is affected, and that's one of the reasons there's no community now that's free of drugs. Even in the Sincore area, if you went there, Sincore that would normally be seen as the Queen community, it's not all over the country, all over, and it's being expanded and extended to the rural part of the country. Rural Liberia is also faced with that. Most of the kids will leave some time in desperation to get things go and rob their parents and all sort of village people in the rural part of the country for these things. So the government will have to be very effective and not compromising here in terms of trying to stem this. And to stem it, we have to come with a mindset of committed government to do that, not just a mere talk, and where in the official of the security apparatus there be coordinating with these guys in the name of just showboating around. So it's a problem.
Joe, the last time I was shocked, sometimes I wonder when these people are making these pronouncements, these press releases, I don't know whether they say it's only for the local consumption. For those of us who are in the know and know a little bit about these things, for the government, I guess Mr. Biago made this pronouncement that there is no more drug den in the whole country. They have eliminated no more ghettos, he said, all gone. Those of us who grew up in urban areas here, we know when you beat the drug dealers from 12th Avenue in Washington, D.C., and you say, we took care of that. No, they moved from 12th Avenue, they just moved to 14th Street somewhere else. So you didn't say whether we have established drug rehabilitation center, we have committed these people, we are doing trainings, we're getting ready to put them into halfway houses and put them into the workforce. You didn't say any of those things. You said we have broken up all the ghettos in the country, and it's an achievement. And you said that, you said, where did these people go to school? Where? How do they think? Don't they think that people around the world are watching some of the things they say? Joseph, you on the ground when this drug thing is going haywire.
Yeah, I think sometimes, when a public official makes some of these statements, it's just for it to sound good in the ears of the president. Because if you come to say you have getting rid of all the ghettos within Monrovia, people are in town here. People are following the situation here. The ghettos, some part of Monrovia have increased. Even when you try to take them from here, they will regroup on the other side. They will go on the other side because bear in mind that these guys are taking substance. Sometimes before you even arrest them, they already get plan B. And like Mr. Peewee said, drugs is affecting every family, every household. I was just following your case in Lofa where a fellow, murder his own mother. He came from taking substance, and when he came, he just out of anger, he took the axe and split his mother's head. These things are continuing to affect the younger generation of our country, but we don't know what really the government is doing. There are not many rehab centers. You have private individuals who have rehab centers. Yes, they charge a lot of money, and bulk of the guys who are on the street, most of them cannot afford to go to some of these private rehab centers. Not like the one Senator Dillon is having, where the space is not much bigger, where you can only take close to 10 to 15 individuals, just for 6 months. And there are many testimonies. Some of them that go to the rehab, they come back, they come do the same old thing, go in the same community, meet the same old friends, and there's not ready plan from within the DEA. We have a system here. I don't know whether Mr. Pee-wee or you guys are aware of it. And when you walking around town or somewhere, some places in the community, whenever you see a slinger on a level, just know that they're doing just business in that place. It's happening here. When you see slinger on the main LEC line, slinger just cross the day. Just know they're doing just business. Just know that that entire environment is involved into just business, and the DEA is aware. We have so many bordering parts in this country. Sometimes some of these things that they bring to the public that they want to can see. Why about the one that they are not seeing? You go to some of these bordering points in some of these countries, you don't see security. I went to a certain part of Nima. You only see one immigration man to one small place where you can get across the water. One immigration man, and somebody coming with huge concern man and giving that man money. You think that man will not hold it? That man will hold it. That man will forget about whole generation that he coming to destroy. So much has not been done when it comes to the security aspect of it. When it comes to the rehab aspect of it, you chase the guys from the street. You beat them. You carry them you carry them in cell. Yes, they spend 2-3 days there. They come back from the prison. They get on the street. They get in the environment. They go and consume this same thing. What really the government is doing? The same rescue government that came on the mando of drugs. The president, in his inaugural address, said the drug thing is a national emergency. The president classified it as a national emergency. The president even went to the extent of doing drug tests. But still, much has not been done. But yeah, again, when you go, you ask the agencies involved in the area, they will tell you, say, we lack funding. Yeah, then lawmaker then creating additional 16 county, to come out on the 73 that there. And most of these districts, then you go, you will see ghetto. But no lawmaker get that conscious man to say, no, let us invest into the DEA. Let us invest into rehab center. Let us invest into this. They will not do it. They will not do it because if they're running that campaign, these are the same guys they will use. They will use it, get a man t-shirt, get a man $500, get a man $1,000 LD, and make a follow behind me. These are the same guys they will use. They don't value the future of the younger generation, and the government is not really doing much when it comes to the entire job situation. Yeah.
Honorable Pee-wee, he's talking about recidivism, right? It's like a basically a circular door. You arrest the guy, you say, okay, it will close down the ghetto, you put him in jail. You have not addressed the substance issues. You have not addressed the root causes of why they are on the street. You put them in jail for a few days later, and it's a revolving door. They just come right back to it. So recidivism is a serious issue for those who you think, well, the president brought you in, right? They gave you a job to do. They expect you have some expertise, you got some know-how. If you knew as a person that, there's no resource to run your office to do anything, why take the job? The president brought you there to be innovative, to be creative, to find solution. That's your job. The president brings you on because of your expertise to bring solutions. You can't say that now. The same thing everybody says, we are underfunded. We don't have the capacity. So you're getting paid. You got a budget. And you come here with this entire stuff. Recidivism is for real, Honorable Pee-wee. You are muted.
Absolutely. Part of it is for us to, and that what normally people would say in the professional sector, news of the lower hanging fruits, right? It's not always no funding. But again, the buck stops with the president, and it's part of the reason why the Constitution of the Republic is very instructive in terms of what the president can do and what the president cannot do. So I think those that are appointed are don't really hold them responsible. If they don't perform, they give flimsy excuses, inexcusable excuses in other words, and then they see themselves still finding themselves in self position and not performing. And every leadership, if you will, in terms of every institutions, there are guidelines, there are deliverables, they're targeted deliverables. If those they're not meeting the benchmark, sometimes they come the board, we have to come and do some revision and say, okay, this person is not doing what you have to lift your line up on that there will be some consequence here. And this all in every institutions. You have to do some revision and take stock of where you are, and then begin to see if you're meeting your targeted goal or if you're nearing them. If you're not, and you want to find out what are the bottlenecks, and then you try to work on those things, to hurdles and help that, and work to improving the situation. The president got the prerogative and the sole responsibility to appoint these people and ensure that they work via his pleasure, the way and pleasure of the president. So if I were to be appointed by the president and not performing, want to give some flimsy excuses, in other words, the president should move and use his power he has, right? Instead of people just coming up talking about this and that and other things, it's not going to help the country. The country we have to focus on, and that's part of the reason why we have leadership. And so, or that they will say, okay, everybody would be here and viewing everything. Maybe we'll have 10% council of 10% reviewing this. I like Mr. Gaiman. I don't like City. And then sometimes it happens, oh, Gaiman performs. City didn't perform. The other people, so everybody will get divided. No, the Constitution said that only one man will appoint all these people. And the people of Liberia will appoint that, will elect that man to give him the power. And that's the line. So until we can now focus on supervising effectively folks that are appointed, and that the supervision authority is given to one person. And in other words, in recent history, the past two presidents of our country, the immediate past president, the current president, I see that they're very too sympathetic in terms of their supervision. The authority is very poor in terms of things. And I'll be very honest here, because you appoint a government official, if they perform, they don't perform, you say to hell with the people. Yeah, the people just perform. So what I'm saying that this current president do is that I think he's certified with the level of performance. And if it is that way that he's certified with the level of performance of foreign equality, meaning then I mean he's not implementing his role to superintend the nation very effectively. And that is a very poor judgment on his part. And and that got to stop, because we're seeing all the lapses in the country. There's no job creation. There's no job creation whatsoever. There's lack of security in the country. There's a proliferation of the drugs all over the country. It's been proliferated across the country. Even to make matters worse, you have people in the security sector, in the security apparatus, high-ranking security officers that are helping to convolute the situation. So a lot of things are unfolding in this area. In the social sector, there's not much that is unfolding. In terms of infrastructure, the road network, we stayed behind, if you will. Ever since we started this whole thing about the RIA road, from past government started a little bit, we stay far from it. We even know when the road is going to be done. Are we going to, that road going to be that way? That's an international gateway. I thought by now the President of the Republic will have mobilized all resources for his government to say the mobilization of these resources will go directly in the name of ensuring that this road is done, because this is the international face of our country. Everybody that enters the country, we have to come via this road. What are we doing to expedite this road project? Nothing. And they are saying, oh, sometime 2027, I'm getting from information also, it may not be done 2027, they're now targeting 2028. I'm sure we will be on this road up to elections. So the person that's got the authority to do the supervision himself, I think there's some problem. So that would be the reason why people will do these things. But other leadership in other countries, if you are not performing, the president don't have to give you notice. The country didn't say the president will give you warning. No, there's no room for warning. It's way of pleasure. So we have to understand way of pleasure from someone getting a job that you should be retired. HR party say you signed this. Oh, okay. Pee-wee, you'll be warned, you're not performing, first warning, second warning, then suspension. No, it's not this. The president can fire you at will. He even goes to bed. Even if you're performing, the president says, I don't know how you performing, he should fire you. Then how much about those that are not performing? So I think, Mr. President, we have to see some reason to do this, but he cannot. His deputy minister came out and condemn and rebuff the chairman of the party, because the chairman of the party said something that was stupid. It's not in line with what the president believe and think. And the deputy minister rebuffed him. And we haven't heard anything of such. There's no reshuffle. He's saying there should be reshuffle. Meaning the chairman of the party is openly agreeing with the Liberian people and saying to us, I'm not agreeing, saying to the Liberian people, there are a lot of bunch of incompetent, corrupt, misguided individuals in the government. And the president is about to come and move and dismiss those incompetent people, reshuffle some of the ones that are in the name of things competent, but need to shift a little bit to perform very effectively and efficiently to other areas. Get the competent one completely out, the non-performers out, those that are performing. We try to reshuffle them and see what can happen. He said, no, the president is not going to do that. The president is okay with this team. Meanwhile, these are things that were discussed in one of the cabinet meetings. The president said he's okay with things. So, I mean, that's what the deputy minister is trying to communicate to the Liberian people. And then the party chairman himself is completely incommunicado. He doesn't know what is unfolding, but he's just being sentimental, probably angry. He wanted to use part of that again to show some level of strength here. It's quite unfortunate.
Mr. Radis here, please say something here, and we have talked about this a whole lot here, and hopefully Liberia will understand and respect the honor of labor. He said he went to AMBU, he went to LU, but when he came in this country, he decided to be his own businessman. He started driving Uber. He is his own boss, and he's making more money than a bachelor's degree would make, because I know a lot of Uber drivers that make a lot of money. That is the dignity of labor in this country. You can have a degree and you can still become a small business owner. You can be a small contractor and you make more money than the guy with a degree. But I want to believe if Mr. Siaple was in Liberia, he would have never attempted to buy one or two taxis, to own a fleet of taxis. He would have never started with a taxi, because in Liberia, they will call you names, they will disgrace you, they will dishonor you. You go to the university and you're driving cab. You go to the university and you're driving cab. But they are not saying that you are feeding your family. You started with one keke. I know some people who started with one keke, they got 4 or 5 kekes going. They started with one cab and they got 2 cabs going, 3 cabs going. That is the dignity of labor in this country. In this country, this great country, you will see people with bachelor's degree working as a garbage man. The garbage truck, you see those people driving, those guys make so much money. You can sit in your office with your bachelor's degree, those guys go to work, they make $30, $40 an hour. And you're sitting there with your tie and all that. So, Mr. Siaple, that is a very important point. Those who are calling you names, they say you're stupid, you don't have brains because you're driving your Uber. You are self-employed. You are your own boss. You're making money. So don't listen to whatever they tell you. That's the kind of idea we want to take to Liberia, that everybody who graduates, you can't graduate from the University of Liberia with a degree in business administration, and you go to Pee-wee office at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and say, can you hire me? That is not what your degree says. Your degree says you are business administrator. Your job is to start your small business, or call Sally, call Pee-wee and say, guys, I see a business opportunity. Let everybody put $1,000 together a piece, and we share the outcome 33%. Let's start something. Let's start selling billboard in mass. Let's start going around the country and buy coal and stock them. When they're in high demand, we sell. We make money. That's what business people do. But you get a business degree, then you go into the foreign ministry for a job. You go into defense for a job, because it has been ingrained in us that if you don't work for government, you are working for government with your necktie, you're making $200 a month, entire month. You spend $1 a day, $2 a day, $1 to go to work, $1 to come back. By the time the month ends, you have spent $60 on transportation. When you add food there, it's about $90 a month. When you take out the taxes, you bring it home, $80. When you take out the $60, you got only $20 remaining. How can you survive on that? But yet and still, you need the nomenclature. You want to be called, I am, what do you call it? I'm a staffer at the Senate. I'm a staffer at the House. And then when you go into work, you're asking folks to help you out. Sally, let's talk about the dignity of labor. Okay? Let's talk about that.
Mr. Gilman, you see, for your side, you people have so many companies and private owned companies that people already want to work, right? And not yet for Liberia. You look at the government, the government, even there are a lot of people who want to go to government. And not because of any other thing. Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, the prestige, the other, like you said, people will say, oh, I'm working at the Capitol building, I'm personal staffer, I work at the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There are a lot of people who want to go to the government side. But if we have companies, right, even like cap companies, cap, who will come, just there are a lot of people here who get degree. Bachelor degree, they really want to work. People just want to earn money. There are a lot of people here who want to earn money. There's a girl who is right now training on Facebook. She's at the university and she's shining shoes. Imagine a female shining shoes.
I saw her yesterday.
Yeah, she's shining shoes. There's no work. There's no work. One of our colleagues, a female journalist, she got so disappointed. On imagine she making $5,000 Liberian dollars. She got so disappointed until she left. She started selling in between cars. She started selling biscuit. So there are a lot of people who want to work, but the environment is not really conducive. And there are one of the things that government should really, look at. Yeah, at least the Ministry of Youth and Sport, they are coming in with this as low employment on cadet program, taking raising the number up to 1,150. It's a good start, but again, imagine you only work for 6 months. After 6 months, you go back to your house, you be sitting, looking for another opportunity again. There is no factories. There is no company.
Joe, I gotta disagree with you. Honorable Pee-wee, this one here, I gotta disagree with my colleague here. We complain. Listen now, we are complaining that the foreigners, people, the Indians, the Fullers, the other folks are getting wealthy at our expense. The Chinese now, they are selling bitter ball and pepper and those things and making more money than the Liberian citizen. How can you say that you graduated from you don't even need a university degree to recognize gaps within the economy? Gaps. Everywhere you go, people looking for pepper. They're looking for this. So the Chinese people have said, you know what? Okay, the Liberian people need these things. This is what they call cash crops. We're going to sell the bitter ball to them. We're going to sell the pepper to them. We're going to sell the potato greens to them. We're going to start selling the water in mass. It's about ideas on our Pee-wee. I mean, there's so many gaps in the economy in Liberia that young men and young women could be making, but nobody is thinking.
Oh yes, the young people will have to be very creative and enterprising to get into these things. You have to see into it and tap into those opportunities in the country. And if you were to look around, the Chinese also, they have billions. They are in 1 point something billion, almost there about.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons. If you went to China, they have a lot of young millionaires coming up, and because they tap into the Chinese economy, the opportunities that are there. Some have to be very creative in terms of bringing up different enterprise and concepts to use that as a means of generating fund. They all over the place, so I think we also have to do that, and we do have some laws on the book. But if Liberians cannot fill the gap, basically, if the gap is there, you will see folks will come in and wanting to intentionally do that. And those that are available, they say when the competent those that are expected to perform certain tasks are not available, those that will be there to do it will fill the gap, even if they are breaching the laws of the country. The liberalization policy is clear. Even the Chinese were not allowed to do ice and other things. They have one of the biggest ice factories behind the red light area. You know that they crush the rock crushing, and they brought those machines. They're making millions of dollars in Liberia. Do you know? If you just quite recently, I purchased like almost 3 truck of crush rack, those 10-tire trucks. One of those truck, including the transportation, is taking to almost $500 per trip. Imagine these guys are involved into the crushing of rocks, and they're doing the dredging of, I don't know, there's the dredging of what we call pumping of sand from the St. Paul River and other things. They brought those machines to pump the sand, and we're going to get the sand. They've been paid. They're doing a lot of things, getting good buck of money in Liberia. We're creating millionaires out of Liberia into China, right? So we cool, but again, there's some. Mr. Taylor always used to say there's some exogenous factor pulled in the country down. It's a market want to box, but the hands are shut. But if the hands are shut, I think the market should go more closer for you back someone, right? To create that opportunity. So you have to be creative. If the hands are shut, you don't stand this time on the box there sometimes. You go closer and box it up, and then you put, and that's the innovation that you are thinking now outside the box. So what can we do as people? Now, the opportunities, we said the opportunities are not there to ensure that Liberia will have exposure opportunity to the market. How do we do it? Folks are saying there are a lot of conditionalities that have been pushed from up front. Some of it is that we insensitive towards trying to build the kind of to become an entrepreneur or other thing, being that culture of entrepreneurship is one. We too braggadocio, if you will. If there's time to do certain things, we lost focus of what we intend to do in terms of business. The business can go, so we intend to ride Mercedes-Benz or BMW, or want to start having big parties.
No, right? Yeah, they start with the Mercedes-Benz first. Now they start with
have the Mercedes-Benz first, and then you want to start the business. Just started, so first morning that will come. You want to be a super mansion that you can be comfortable. You want to do everything. Then you want to start calling big parties. You haven't started doing anything yet. And it's part of the reason why the businesses break down in no time, right? If you went to maybe you accrue some loan from the bank, pump the money in the business. No, okay, I'll go 1.5 million. I will put $5 million in the business, 500,000 in the business rather, and then the 1 million I will buy the house, buy a car, then the profit answer. Come on, what are you doing there? Pump the entire money into the business. The business will have some time. When the business pick up, the return is going to be big. Then when you settle, that's some music, Nigerian music, I like the song. The message time to board now. You know, do all the things at time for him to play and do these things because the money is already there, right? So that's the reason. Because if we had rather some very effective Liberians organize themselves in the way and manner that will push for what we call collective way of doing things, be different change of things, ensure that you have people from different areas, the ice machines and other things doing that. That's big money because we don't have much of electricity. So you see people going to buy ice every day. The market women are going to go do it. The guys want to brought the machine from their country. You don't think you could take loan from the bank and go bring all those machines back to Liberia as a Liberian and start doing those things? You could do the machines. The bank could trust Liberians to start pumping those sands, build over them. You get the market, create the market. There's a lot more opportunities into the country that we are not tapped into. And if we cannot tap into it, the foreigners, the Chinese, the Fulanese, the Chinese, the Fulanese, and other will come, even the Burkina migrants come into the country now to get involved into some cash crop thing and getting involved into some other illicit money thing that's unfolding, that the president did recognize what is unfolding the last time. So it is hard time that we buckle up. And how do we buckle up is to ensure that we'll be honest, we'll be focused, and then we go for it and set the chain to ensure that the prosperity will be prospered. It's about worth creation. If we cannot do this, we will continue to linger backward and in abject poverty and remain destitute for the protracted period of the history of the country moving forward.
Mr. Saleh, let's look at integrity and honesty, right? Let's say you came up with a small business idea. You went to Honorable Pee-wee. You say, Honorable Pee-wee, this is my small business. The bank will not give me loan because I don't have anything. But I want you to go in business with me. Because what this guy did from here, he said, Jerome, I'm going to Liberia, but maybe 10 years ago. I said, you got a job already? He said, no. He said, but I found a gap. I said, what is it you want to do? He said, I want to be a coal producer. I want to sell coal. So I kept wondering, I said, you want to sell coal? He said, yes. I said, how are you going to do that? He said, my plan is... Fire coal? Yeah, fire coal.
And that's a big business in our country.
Listen, the guy said, I said, no, I'm going to build my warehouse. He says, all I need is one pickup truck, one good pickup truck. He says, I'm going to hire 3 young men and 3 young ladies. They are going to go to every market in the country and ask all the women who are selling coal, can we supply you with coal? You got to do anything, we will bring the coal to you. He said he built this big warehouse. He will go up country. He will tell the folks, listen, why take your coal to Buchanan to sell it for $4, $5 a bag, whatever? I can come to you. You don't have to spend a dime. I will buy it for you $3 right on the spot. You don't got to go anywhere from your village. I will take it from you. So here is the guy who is collecting coal from all over the place. He built a big warehouse. He said he got about 10,000 bags of coal. He's waiting for the rainy season.
Mm-hmm. The price will go up.
There you go. Then he get his
because the production of coal from the bush will slow down.
That's right. So this guy figured this thing out.
Yeah.
He went.
It's innovation.
Yeah, hire these young kids. They have gone there. They tell the market women, man, you don't have to go suffer for coal anymore. We will bring you the coal. You don't have to go anywhere. So he got all these contacts and he became the supplier. That guy became, I won't say a millionaire, but he making a lot of money. Same thing, I was listening to one, I think it was OK FM or one of those, they were interviewing a Fula guy. And they asked him, you know, how you've been in this country like 5 years, you're doing so well. He said, yes, he said, I'm from Mali, from Bamako. He said, someone told me, if you want to be rich quick, whether it's bad English, but that's what I said, you go to Liberia. He said, so I went through Guinea, I came here. He said, then where the old Minister of Education used to be, there, one of his friends had a place there, so he started shining shoes. Then he shined shoes for about 9 months, then he added selling belt. He was shining shoes and selling belt. He said after a year or so, he asked his friend, can you give me a place so I can start selling attire? I don't know what that is, but attire, he said he was selling attire. So now he was shining shoes, selling his belt, and he was selling attire. He said within 2 years, he saved enough money, he had his own shop, he opened an extra attire shop. This man, in 3 years, coming from Mali with nothing, hiring Liberians. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, you have to have a concept. You got to have an idea. What is it you want to do? How you going to do it? No matter what people call you. You know, you shining shoe, you're doing this, you look so good. Okay. Now, in 3 years, the gentleman now got 2 attire shops. He hired some Liberian now to work for him. He's still shining his shoe. He's still selling his belt. Another typical example is Thomas Falah, his life story. When Joe asked the man was selling nail or something in wheelbarrow, I said, what? He said, yes. He said he started selling nail, hinges and stuff. Then he started selling plank. And that's how he started making contributions to the CDC. He was recognized, and the president saw him at the time as a very industrial guy, somebody that is needed. So you see what I'm talking about? It is like Honorable P, we say, you don't start with a Mercedes Benz.
No.
You start with, see, you can put your money together to get your keke. Run it for a while. Be honest. If somebody gave you the opportunity to take a loan and you say, I'm going to pay, you have to be honest to pay. Our folks do not believe in being honest. People are not honest in Liberia. Family members, forget about family, they are not honest. When you look at the bank record, almost 90% of the loans in Liberia go into default. They fail to pay back. That's why the bank don't give any money to anybody. You got to have your property ready. They got to come and do it. And they give you time to pay the money back or you forfeit your property. So we're just saying this to say there's a lot of ways to make money in Liberia. There's a lot of gaps. Young folks have to find the gaps and you've got to fill the gaps. But this thing about going to the government to get a job, to go, you're just going from bank to bank. There's no employment going on. Mr. Saleh, talk to me. If you were to open a business, if you wanted to go on your own, what would be some of the businesses that you would be looking at? I know you're a journalist, but what else would you be looking at to make some money outside of journalism? You're a journalist, you don't make no money.
Yeah. So one of the business I opt in, like I want to venture in is transportation. Yeah, and yes, transportation have a lot of money, and yes, like you said, there are a lot of people who come with they don't have that integrity, and the banks even to pay back the money to the banks. Even apart from banks, we have a micro loan company here called BRA. There's a lot of people who have defaulted, that company, and sometimes you see police will come to a guy house or a lady house, put you in that position where you have to go to the police station, call one of your family members, make a promissory note before you pay the people money, and these are the things that continue to hamper us. We the typical Liberian, because we want to do business and we are not honest ourselves. We're not also honest to the bank. So doing that, it's gonna be so difficult. But for me, if I already want to venture into transportation business, I will venture into the transport sector, where because yes, there are a lot of competing priorities, such as
the internet in Liberia is well, ladies and gentlemen, he's having problem with his internet like everybody else. It is 7:45, 12 in your part of the world. We got 15 more minutes here. We'll be closing down. We have had a great time here. The internet is buffering, it's giving him a hard time. But this is a young man who says his interest outside of journalism will be transportation. And who doesn't want transportation? You go to Monrovia, people are in line at the bus station to take the bus to go home. People are hustling. People are having issues. I was in Monrovia, in February I was down there, and you go on the Japanese highway, you see these beautiful ladies, beautifully dressed on a Pee-wee, and they're just chasing the bus. Just to get on the bus to get home. So yeah, transportation, if you did it the right way, it could make money, but most of our people, Honorable Pee-wee, I know you have experienced it too. Our people are not trustworthy. They are not honest. They don't honor anything they say. They even write a promissory note. They can't even honor it because they always put the horse they always put the cart before the horse. And that's not how it works. This is why they don't succeed.
This is a very serious this is a serious situation normally in terms of the way we do things, and even they think about people shuffling on to the the morning rush sometimes can be terrible. I experienced this before also in the country years back when I was staying in high school, and most of the time not in high school, but high school I used to have the privilege of time with my dad would drop me or his driver would drop me or so. But back in college, we spend most of the time doing that. We have to rush to the bus station around the early morning hours, and she was shuffling, battling to get on, because imagine when the bus is here, so now you have 18-seater bus or a taxi is here, and you have sometimes 15 persons rushing on one taxi that should take on a 5 persons. Imagine that. Some people will fall out, get messed up, and all those things. So it's one of the issues we have, and the growing population, the growing increase of the population. The Greater Monrovia area and its surrounding suburb, the very densely populated, condensed in a more condensed way, if you will, and more in recent years. The population been exponentially growing upward. So you expect that the transportation system will be, and it's part of the reason why we have a massive importation of those other vehicular things like keke, motorcycle, that's just pumping into the country. Massive amount of them is coming tonight to the country. A lot of people now investing into that, particularly keke and that of the motorcycle. So it is very important. Transportation is one of the very vibrant sector in the country that one can explore. Myself, if I were to have, I'm thinking of that, but you do it from I wouldn't just do it from the level of holding to what we call human passenger. I would do it from the cargo aspect of things, carry most of those continued refrigerated kind of a sealed vehicle we have here that can do that. Because if you were to have those refrigerated tap, for instance, and you want to ensure that because most of our perishing food products that we have to leave to go places like Harper, Lofa, distance area from Monrovia, and there's a problem in some time, and the roads are terrible. And whenever there's a breakdown during the rain, this time it is the rough terrain. Vehicles don't easily ply those routes. There's some difficulties in getting to rough terrains, if you will. So if you got those kind of a thing, you put those where you have those how they call it, those frozen food, like chicken feed. And these are things that we heavily consume: chicken feed, pig-tail, chicken wings, and all those things, beef-food, and all those fish, and the rest of that. Those can convey it to their destination. So this kind of a chain of transport, you have many trucks, motors, and other things. So you have some also that can get involved into transportation of coal, fire coal, and the rest of that. So the transportation sector is a vibrant and a vibrant sector that have not been heavily explored from the basis of innovative planning that you can trickle a lot of money also. Because the government will bring some empty bus and all those things. So yeah, we need to explore most of the opportunities.
Welcome, Robert Gagwa. You came in. We finished. We are still licking our chops for those of us that were rooting for France. We're disappointed, but welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Jerome. Hope you had a great weekend, Sylvester.
No, I just told you I'm crying.
I mean, but it's today. I mean, the weekend was France didn't play, but yeah, I join you. I'm disappointed as well. I'm actually shocked because I don't think that they played today as they have in the previous games. I thought the last game they were outstanding. Yeah,
the last
I'm not
game,
sure what.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened today because if you go back at that last game, you would have. I thought that they were one of the competitors. If you look at the 4 teams that are left in the tournament, but today they were just off their game today. I don't know what happened. But the young kid, I think he just turned 19 years old. Lamine, I think he's gradually solidifying himself, even though he's still a teenager. I think he's gradually solidifying himself as one of the biggest stars out there right now. I mean, look at his performance today. It was completely outstanding. So, France is out, but we still have England. I think England has more black players. That hopefully they can beat Argentina tomorrow.
Look, we're hoping so, but one of the things besides soccer, in my previous life, I did when I worked for the Chamber of Commerce, my position was vice president for minority development. So I used to do a business plan. I operated a business incubator to help small businesses, get started and moving. So one of the things that I want to do on the pro bono in Liberia is to open a business incubator where I can teach that a young man say he wants to go into the transportation business, how to write a business proposal, small business proposal, how to submit it to the bank, how to go for the interview, and all of these things. So that is what I want to do. Pro bono free. My give back is to teach young men, if you identify a gap that you want to fill, okay, how do you put a small proposal together? How do you get a loan, and how do you manage it after you get a loan? All of these things need to be taught.
Right.
They need to learn. So I would like to go to Liberia. Every time I go, when I go to my next trip, I would like to do a symposium or something. I know Liberian people, they love to write proposals, they do all of these things, but I'm talking about real business incubator where we help you. This is how it works. This is how you do it. And when you get a loan, we will help you manage your spreadsheets, your bank account. Every day when you drive that cab, you don't take the money home. The money has to be deposited. We got ATM machine everywhere. The money has to be deposited within 24 hours. You cannot take it home and stop by your girlfriend and use it and say, I'm going to get some more tomorrow. No. You got to be disciplined. So these are things that we need to teach, because I was in Buchanan and I asked the young man, I said, how you doing with the Texas? He says, I'm doing very well. And I said, how long you been doing this? He says, for 10 years. So I said, well, if you've been doing it for 10 years, then you're doing very well. He said, yes. I said, how many times do you go to Monroe a day? He said, Mr. Gamer, I do 2 trips. I get enough money. I've met my quota. I don't force it. I don't destroy my car. I maintain my car. I pay the owner of the car, and I keep the difference. Say, I don't go off, I don't go all over the place before I damage the car. He says, I did this. Now I have 2 cars of my own. This is an honest person who has a plan. And he said, this is how I execute. So these are things we need to teach the young folks. The pleasure will come. The jolly will come. You have to do the very basic principles of business. So Pee-wee gave you $1,000 investment. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Then you take the man money. You're not coming back to say anything. You're not reporting the money. A friend of mine sent home these big dump trucks and signed up with one guy. The guy came and said, listen, I will put you in the business. Take the truck, give me my extra money weekly. He said, fine. He did it for a month. After a month, the man never heard from him again. The guy named is Emmanuel Bozio, never heard from him again for a month. The next time he called the police, they found out the car was at the border of Guinea in Nima. The man left Monrovia for a month. doing his own thing just because he did not want to live up to his commitment. This is how dishonest the people are. Somebody spent that kind of money, bought a 10-tire truck from here, the Mike truck, and pay a lot of money at a stupid port authority there, and finally freed it and giving you a shot. And that's what he did.
Wow, shocking! It's crazy.
Shocking?
Well, it's not shocking, but
there you go. But so we are saying this to say everybody cannot work in government.
Yeah.
Everybody cannot work at Metal Steel. There's so many gaps in the Liberian economy that young folks should be making millions. Even if you were selling pepper and you decided to buy pepper wholesale up interior, bring them to the city and sell them, you can still make money. Cassava leaf, you go to the village and buy a cassava leaf, come and granulate and grind them, put them in packets and freeze them and sell them, you still make money. So you don't have to wait for government to call you to give you money. The young man here said he's a university graduate, he went to LU, went to FAMU, he went to AMEU. When he came to the United States, he decided going to Uber and doing an exceptional job making money.
That's right.
He said, but the people, some Liberian people are laughing at him, saying, you got college degree, what are you doing driving Uber? He's a subcontractor, he's self-employed, he's making money, and he is his own boss. Gagwa, you in the same business. I think when you go to Liberia, you got to help these young men and women learn how to operate a business.
Yeah, we all need to do something, but I think we need to. I mean, it's great that you're doing stuff on pro bono. It's good. I don't intend to do anything on pro bono. I intend to consult if necessary in the hospitality sector. Of course, there are people that we can impact on a small scale, but I think on a bigger scale, when it comes to the system, right? I think those are some things that I intend to do. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think a lot of our folks, need help, not just with small business proposals, but a lot of.
You are muted, Robert. Okay, maybe so. Robert, we can't hear you. Honorable Pee-wee.
Yeah. I was gonna be running. So.
Yeah. We got. No. We got two.
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. No. I was just saying I was agreeing with him, but go ahead.
No. We got. We probably.
No, they're about to close. I want to run somewhere.
We got 2 minutes to close. Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay.
Pee-wee, go ahead. Do we have closing?
Yeah. I mean, so basically that's it. I think it was a great show, but I was trying to, when we started the show, I tried to reach out to get some information. So the basic information that they denied our players as they are unfolding, they're actually not correct. There are some little issues they have. We have most of the players, they believe they can do the scouting from here. They will use this one from there, and the one coming from the other part of the world that got the visa to come, they will do that. And the issue of the money thing, I just spoke to one of the deputy ministers from the Youth and Sport Ministry, said the government already agreed to fund the money, so the money will be available between now and hopefully on Friday, and then the guys will move in quickly to meet the issue. So we hope the Lone Star will wish them all the best, but we think the government should put more money now moving forward into the national team and the rest of that. So they believe, as it was portrayed, it's not as the way they just when they say, oh, the entire national team was denied visas, but they didn't give the information that way. But I spoke to the deputy minister, I spoke to the FA also, and they said there's some issue on this. So thank you and good night.
Good. Robert Gagwa, we're talking about the Lone Star. It is confirmed that the 2 goalkeepers were denied, 5 of the players were denied, most of the staff were denied, but those who are coming from, if you were an American, you were playing in Europe and you come in, that's fine. Those guys are okay. And the difference would be local players in the area. They will, try to integrate them. But yes, I wasn't shocked because for the World Cup, the people deny a lot of other players and coaches and referees from entering their country. Coming just for a friendly match, to me, I thought it was really, really stretching it. So I wasn't surprised when they denied. And then the corruption in the Liberian Sports Association by putting more staff on that list than even players. I mean, that's crazy.
Exactly. But I'm glad that the information is gradually being corrected, and I think there are additional information that might come out with regard to that. That's why when I saw the news circulating online today, I thought it was to caution us to, not just share anything, because to what just based on what Sylvester just said, people misled the public by saying the national team has been denied entrance into the country and things like that. Even before the players confirmation came in, as far as some of the players that have question mark, there were only officials that were denied. 10 of them went for the interview, 6 of them were denied. And I think there are questions surrounding justification on being part of the Lone Star. And by the way, I think the elephant might want to address this, but there are names that even went for the interviews that have not even been part of any Lone Star travel delegation in the past, as of recent, and so I think the elephant and those who are running the football, they need to be careful too, because when it comes to these big trips, it seems like there are more people who are interested in traveling when it comes to trips in London, the US, and other places, as opposed to trips in Morocco, Egypt, and other African countries. But as Sylvester stated, which is absolutely right, there have been conversations 2 weeks ago about the possibility, since we're playing a club team, about the possibility of recruiting young Liberians who already play in the USL. There have already been multiple names recruited. And so the coaching staff and others have been looking at the possibility that, listen, since we already have a team that like those professional players, why don't we recruit young Liberians who have not played for Lone Star before, who are developing great prospects, and that will give you the opportunity to really see them play and see if there's a possibility that they can be part of your future team as we prepare for our qualification next in September. And so, no, I think this is going to go on. I think I spoke with some of the organizers. I think they're confident that this is going to happen. And those officials, they don't represent the Lone Star. If the coaching staff can come, most of the coaching staff consists of Moroccans and some of whom have French citizenship, right? And I'm sure there will be no issue when it comes to giving them visa. But I don't think the team has been affected. Of course, I didn't expect that the embassy would give all of the local players visa. There are still question marks about, well, if this person is playing for this team, how sure are we that this person has enough financial stability to want to come to America and come back to Liberia? They're looking at all of these things, like how much this player make every month that will make him want to come, as opposed to players who might be playing overseas, right? They have a lot more to lose overseas as opposed to players playing the local league. So we expected this, but all of this news about the Lone Star has been denied entry, I think it's misleading. We should be very cautious and allow the information to come out and what have you. But I'm hoping that the game is not canceled, and I'm hoping that all goes well. I think we have more than 15, 16 players, young players, including international players like Peter Wilson. Peter Wilson goes back and forth to the U.S. He's the highest goal. He won the Golden Boot last year for the USL, right? He plays in America. There's another kid called Frank. He also a senior national team player. He plays in America. All right. Oscar Dollar, who was the Lone Star captain. Matter of fact, he was just in Minnesota a few weeks ago visiting his family. He even met with the organizer. He already has a valid visa to come back and forth to the U.S. Mamadou Ba, he's also a senior national team player. He's a U.S. citizen. He currently plays in Egypt.
Do we have do we have young? Because I'm looking at the Cape Verde model, right? Their goal here is if the kid is 18, 19, he will have to open up play 2-3 World Cups. So that's experience that nobody else can have. Are we looking at our route than spending money to bring 30-year-old, 29-year-old players?
Well, the reality is that when we start the AFCON qualification, Mr. Jerome, Lone Star cannot depend on developing players. So the captain for Lone Star, for instance, is only 27 years old. So he's an experienced player. You know, Peter Wilson is 29 years old, but he still plays in the USL and has performed very, very well, right? And the bulk of Lone Star consists of 24 to 25-year-old. Our left back he's not even 20 years old. I think he recently turned 20 or 19. He plays in the Czech Republic, Emmanuel Foley, right? So the team consists of a lot of young players. Emmanuel Flomo, who just won the Young Best Player Award in the Rwanda Premier League in his first league debut. He won the Best Young Player Award. So these are players that the coach, is looking at to be part of the team. But when you take 18-year-old and 19 years old from the USL, right, they are prospects, right? So you get them sooner before the US see them when they become, when they start signing for these big teams in Europe, right? So the idea is to bring them, let them form part of Lone Star, let the coach take a look at them. The fact that they're willing to represent Lone Star at this friendly is indicative that they're open to represent their country of birth, right? So I think it will be a great thing for the coach to look at new players, especially young players against Minnesota United. But you can still add some experience on that team, like Oscar Dollar, who he already has a visa. He can come here. There's no issue about him coming. Mamadou Ba, he's a U.S. citizen. He plays in Egypt. He comes to the U.S. all the time, right? Emmanuel Foley, all these players that are playing in Europe will be given U.S. visa. There's not a problem with them. I think the problem is the local players and all of the number of officials that they're trying to make this trip. I think that's where the problem lies. So I think from all indication, this game can still go on and we can still be successful.
So let's look at the financing. You can have all the players who won, even those that are domestically located here. If you don't have the proper funding for transportation, housing, benefits per down, if you are, I don't know whether it's one friendly or two friendlies, if it is a week event, you are talking about a hotel for each player for a week, talking about flights, you talk about meal, you are talking about per down. If there are 25 people, if it's $1,000 a piece, $2,000, you talk about minimum $1,500 grand.
Sylvester, you want to come in? Go ahead. I said you want to come in. Go ahead before I continue.
I think he's on the phone.
Okay, listen. The money had always been.
You were saying something, Raul?
No, I thought you wanted to chime in real quick before I go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Money has always been the problem. Right? Money has always been the problem. And when you see teams like Cape Verde performing so extremely well at the World Cup, it's because Cape Verde invested in the team. But you know what Cape Verde did that a lot of us have missed? Most of the players you see playing for Cape Verde now, including this goalkeeper, they did not play in top leagues. The kid who scored that extraordinary goal against Argentina.
That was a goal of the year right there.
But you know what? Just a few years ago, he was playing in the Portuguese third division league.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. He just signed for Benfica. He signed for Benfica right before the World Cup started. Right? No, but even before the World Cup, what I'm saying is, when he was given the opportunity to display for Cape Verde, international scouts started to see him.
Of course,
on
the biggest stage.
So when you see Liberian players playing in the USL, when you see them play in Israel second division, when you see them play in these countries, we tend to undermine and talk down on them. But the reality, the team that we praise today, most of the players were third division players in Portugal.
Yeah.
I remember when William Jibo signed in Portugal for the second division team, people talked down on him. But he became one of the biggest goal scorer of Liberia, and was a nominee to become of Africa's best talents. So for me, it's not about where a player is currently; it's about the talent. And if we can get these young players, you think the U.S. Scouted Tim Weah when he was at the academy, when he was already famous? No, they started scouting him when he was a kid, right? So we need to trust these young kids, invest in them. If the government can find money to take all of these trips with large delegations and large per diems, then of course they can find money to ensure that these players are also accommodated for 1 week or few days, and also give them a good per diem. There should be no excuse about that. But we don't prioritize these things. We don't understand the economic benefit that comes with them. Today, Cape Verde is one of the most attractive tourist attraction today because of the participation at the World Cup. Everyone wants to know, where is Cape Verde located? How much is it going to cost to go to Cape Verde, to the point where they had to suspend 96 countries that they previously had visa at Point Arrival, right? Because it was an opportunity to expand tourism. So we have to look at the bigger picture when we have these discussions, and the government must understand that you cannot get return on $0. You have to put in the money, invest in these players to ensure that Liberia qualifies for the AFCON.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are talking about. You have to combine the two, talent and investment. You have to, there's no way around it. Because investment requires medical, we talk about health care. If the player gets wounded on the court, do you have enough insurance that that player will recover in due time? We're not playing a game for the love of it anymore. We're talking about the business aspect of it. The young man comes, he plays, he's a prospect in Portugal or wherever. He plays even second or third division, and he's playing, and he's a prospect. He leaves to come to play for the Lone Star in Minnesota. Do we have insurance? Even the MLS, right? You play here, Major League Soccer, you're making money. Do you want to risk it and go play for the Lone Star in Minnesota and there's no insurance? If something happens to you, your career comes to an end. These are the things we are talking about when we talk about sports management. That's what they call it, sports management. So with your own connection with this team, do they have insurance? Do they have health care that these kids will be risking, or they just want to do it for the love of it?
Yeah, right now it's just for the love of it, but those are legitimate concerns, and I think those concerns have been expressed by former Lone Star players. I mean, it's been a long, it's not a conversation that just started today. So I agree. And listen, I have to give credit to the new youth and sports minister. I think she hit the ground running. I think she's implemented a lot of things. I think for the first time in many years, or for the first time ever, the County League had a draw. We never seen that, right? And it eliminates questions about pairing bigger teams with smaller counties, right? As opposed to having an open draw for groups, right? So I think she hit the ground running, and I think as we go by, the LFA in collaboration with the government and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, I think this is something that they must look at, because one of the biggest talents right now, his name is Renda. He plays for Minnesota United. I think the Deputy Youth and Sport Minister, Annie Kwame, he was in Minnesota 3 weeks ago trying to meet with his parents to convince him to represent Lone Star. He's a prospect, 18 years old. Patrick Weah, who plays for Atlanta United, is also a young kid who had previously agreed to represent the Lone Star, went to the airport and then changed his mind. His family told him to not take the flight, right? And so these are all players that we must encourage, but we must first address these concerns when it comes to these insurance and for players in case they get hurt. And not just insurance, even without the insurance, How much care are we showing to these players when they are playing for Lone Star and they get injured? Do we have a outreach committee that calls them and check up on them, even if the country cannot foot the bill when they return to the national team? Are we checking up on them to say, listen, how is the injury? How are you coming along? And things like that. I think these things goes a long way, and I think that these are things that we must adapt. But without that, having said that, I think again there are a lot of young players that are in Europe and in this country. I think that can eventually, because we can't wait until they become 21, 22 and sign for big teams. The other kid just signed up his professional contract in Norway for a Norwegian first division team. He was formerly playing in Atlanta, right? Gabriel Wisse, right? Are we talking to his parents? He's a U.S. citizen, right? But both of his parents are Liberian, right? So we can't wait until these kids become stars, because the U.S. will take them. The bigger countries will take them. The bigger countries are offering more money, and they are addressing all of the concerns that we are talking about, like health insurance, right? They are so all, and the possibility, the probability of them going to the World Cup is more than Liberia. So of course the choice will be very easy. But if we start to show interest now and start to in small ways address these concerns, I'm sure these players are willing to represent the country and play for that country of birth, or country of descent.
Well, excuse me, the Liberian government, people think that government doesn't have anything to do with it. and that's just wrong, because you see that beautiful stadium in Miami called Hard Rock. That stadium is an state of the art. It's brand new.
Right.
The government spent billions to put that stadium there, in collaboration with the Miami Dolphins and all of those folks. The money that they are generating, the taxes that have been paid, will pay for that stadium in no time. So the government has to invest. Was it 2015? My son and some college players from Duke, Clark, Rutgers, I got them together. I said, let's go to Liberia and do, summer clinic, and they all sign up. And they call me and say, send us the photograph of the facility that they will be playing. So I called a friend of mine, Joe. I said, Joe, the university want to see the facilities that these kids will be playing. And he called me back. He says, I want you to call this girl. They call, I think, Batu Tutman. She's in charge of event planning and everything else. So I got in touch with her. She said, Jerome, are you kidding? She said, the only thing we have now is sports commission, and there's no facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid from Duke, he said, Mr. Gibbon, I got $1 million contract for my tuition for 4 years. I may go direct to the NFL. I can't go play on cement. I can't go play outside. If I get injured, I'll lose my eligibility. So I'm just saying this to say, because we have not invested, can you imagine the top level athlete from Division I like Duke coming to Liberia and doing a basketball academy for like a month or 2 weeks or whatever? We lost on that because we have not invested in the basics. There's no gymnasium in the country. There's no gymnasium in the whole of Liberia. None. Zero. I think someone said ACL had a gym, but it's not, that's...
Yeah, but in fact, most of the professional players, I'm so proud of the current Lone Star kids. They're actually building their homes and they're building their own personal gyms.
So, yeah, they add everything on there.
Yeah, like us. What's his name? Samson Doe, who plays in the Czech Republic. It's rumored that he might be transferring to AS Roma for $6 million. Begin build his home, and in his home he has his own personal gym with all of his equipment. So when he
That's
on
how it's
vacation,
supposed to be.
when he's
Yes.
on vacation, he's able to keep himself fit and things like that. So we always crowd poor. We can't be poor for the rest of our lives. We
No.
need to prioritize, and I think youth and sports, I think it's one area that can expose our country when it comes to tourism. We can't think small. We have to think big, right? And so if I was in any position like Bill right now, I'm looking at the youth and sport minister. I'm looking at the president, Mr. President. We need to seriously rethink how we invest in sports, how we not just Lone Star, how we invest in track and field, how we invest in basketball, how we invest in these things. Because if Sudan have one of the biggest national
Yes.
basketball teams.
Yes. Yes.
They're playing in the NBA, right? They're beating countries like Belgium and the US and other countries. We have the talent. For a young kid, look him up. For a young kid, 18 years old, Emmanuel Foley, to leave the Liberian League, go to play for one of Africa's biggest team, El Ali, right? And in his first debut season, to win the young best player of the league, that says a lot. And he's just 18 years old. He was the club highest goal scorer without even starting 60% of the matches. It tells you that the talents are in Liberia. All they are lacking is the proper investment. They're in Liberia, is a proper investment, not just in Liberia, they're also in the diaspora, because you have all the other players being born here with Liberian parents. So we've lost Timothy Weah. He's a U.S. citizen. He chose the U.S. We lost Alfonso Davids. Well, Canada giving an opportunity, and he rewarded them. But these are all big players. Haja Wright, who was also part of the U.S. national team. Imagine if we had all these players on the Liberia national team. We'll be talking different story here now. So we need to start investing now, and I hope that this international friendly is seen as an opportunity to scout these young talents that are in the USL, that are in these different leagues, to give them a feel of how it feels to represent their country of descent and whatnot, and to give them the opportunity to do better. But we need to be very careful how we spread these news, right? Especially for an outlet like the Closing Argument. Let's verify our news. We can't just share everything everybody else share, because some of these informations are just copy and paste information. Whatever the year, one outlet shared this is what the year, But let's reach out to the organizers. We have access to the organizers. Winfred Russell, he's one of the organizers, the company that actually arranged this game with Minnesota United, actually took a trip to Liberia. So these are all big teams. So we need to make sure that we're checking our facts before sharing them out. I think Mr. Jeroen is off, so I think I'm about to get off too. I think the show is over. I'm not sure if he's coming back, but I think it's been an awesome show. Thanks to our listening audience for tuning in, and I guess let's do it tomorrow. Sylvester, I think someone needs to come on and turn the show off. I don't have that access to do that. So if I go off, it's only going to be you on. Ali, not that is a synonym. It sounds alike, but it's spelled differently. That's exactly what I meant. Not the Ali from Egypt. It's the one from Sudan. It's the Sudanese champions. He played in a few CAF Champions League Flex Electronic. He played in a few Champions League. He played in a game against Sundowns of South Africa. I think that was in Johannesburg, and a few other games where he got that red card. But he's playing a few games. But the point that I'm making is, for him to leave the country as an 18-year-old kid with not much experience playing professional soccer, and to just win the young best player in Rwanda, and to be the highest goal scorer for Ali of Sudan, I thought that was extraordinary. that tells you the talent that we have in the country. Sylvester.
Yeah, well, I was just holding on a little bit. I was about to run. So yeah, it was a great show. Actually, and everything you're saying is just the facts. But hoping we'll tie in tomorrow. I think Mr. Gimmer is obviously he lost power.
That's power. I think so because he froze for a second.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you for reaching out to those guys to verify. And like I was telling those guys, they need to reach out to people who have connects. Hey, I heard this. What can we reach out before we just post these things? Because it gives the wrong stuff. But a great show.
Okay, man. Good night.
All right, good night.